Good evening and welcome to McMinnville High School football on 1260 KLYC. Brought to you by McMinnville S. Schwab, Big Box Returns, Bethany A. Blinn of Edward Jones, Andrew Physical Therapy, Macy & Son, Willamette Valley Medical Center, and Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan. Also by Scott's Automotive, Senior Care, At-Home Mattresses, Kevin Gephardt of Edward Jones McMinnville, and Mac and Pack Shipping. And now, the voices of the McMinnville Grizzlies, Brian Erickson and Jeff Ivy.
Welcome to Hillsborough Stadium. This is Jeff Ivy, joined by David Manriquez, and I think we're on the air finally. We've had a little bit of technical difficulties, but that's because Brian is not here tonight. David, we've had to piecemeal things together, and I think we finally got it to where people can hear us and see us on the screen, as we're about 10 minutes away from kickoff here in Hillsborough, as McMinnville has gone on the road to Hillsborough. We're playing at the Hillsborough Stadium, which is a really awesome facility right next door to Ron Tonkin Field, and they're actually building a new baseball stadium just to our left here. So it's a great, fantastic situation here. Beautiful night for football. The weather is going to be a little bit crisp, but no rain, and for this time of year, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's just even though it's a Friday night or Thursday night, it's a perfect night for football tonight. Just one of those great weather days in October. So it's definitely, as far as weather goes, Jeff, there shouldn't be any issues. There shouldn't be any slips, falls, or windy conditions here tonight. So as far as the weather front goes, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, David, let's take another quick break while we get one last technical issue figured out. Right now, here's a message from Willamette Medical Center.
Meeting the needs of not only our team, but our community with kindness and compassion and understanding. We have those moments every day. I think that's probably the coolest part of what I get to do. Treating people with kindness is such an important thing to our hospital. From the moment I show up here to the moment I leave. It is just a collection of big, meaningful moments between the community and staff.
Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab wants to see you make a full and quick recovery so that you can get back into life and the things that you like to do. Their friendly staff will listen and encourage and guide you through each step of the rehabilitation process, from low back pain to post-surgical rehabilitation after a shoulder surgery or knee replacement. They are here to help. Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab. Give them a call at 503-435-1900. If you are looking for a financial advisor located here in McMinnville, Bethany A. Blinn has you covered. She has a holistic approach and understands what is most important to you, using an established process to build personalized strategies and partnering with you throughout your life to help keep you on track. Her investment philosophy is a long-term approach with an emphasis on quality, durability, historical context, and common sense. Give Bethany at Edward Jones a call at 503-472-0555.
Seconds and already had over 100 yards. So
as we're going to take another timeout as the national anthem is getting ready to play. This is McMinnville Grizzlies football on KLYC 1260 and YamhillToday.com.
Transitions in life. Sometimes it's difficult. When a loved one leaves us, Macy and Son is there for you, a trusted friend for 5 generations in Yamhill County. At that time, you have lots of questions and you need someone to walk with in every step of the way. Burial or cremation and a myriad of other options, let Macy and Son walk that journey with you. Macy and Son McMinnville. Give them a call, 503-472-6151.
Are you looking to spend less and get more on your next vehicle? At Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan, they've got you covered. As McMinnville's premier Ford and Nissan dealership, they offer a wide selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all in a stress-free, customer-first environment. Their motto, big enough to serve you, small enough to care, means you'll enjoy the convenience of a large dealership with the personal touch of a local business. Visit Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan at McMinnville today or call 503-376-9650. Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan.
Hello, everybody. Scott here from Big Box Returns, and can you smell it? I can. Football season is in the air, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it that Ty Tomlin is coming back as coach, and he is going to bring us to the promised land, to the victory that we all
of the national anthem there, and we are just moments away, 4.5 minutes or so away from the start of this game here tonight. And well, we're going to have the coin flip here in just a minute as we still continue to do a couple more adjustments on the audio system. Hopefully you can hear us. Everything is set to the lines that they're supposed to be, so I hope that this is better audio for you folks out there. But McMinnville does come in, David, as I mentioned, 3-4, as does Century. And Century has been in some good games and had some blowouts as well. They lost to Aloha 20-27. They played McDaniel and won 32-20. They went to Cleveland and won 40-22. Then they lost to Corvallis 22-35. Lost to Newburgh 12-42. Just like McMinnville got kind of blown out against Sherwood 43-7. And last week we're able to go on the road to Salem, or Kaiser, excuse me, and play McNary to a 28-21 victory. And they got to feel good about that here coming into this ball game. They have momentum. Again, McMinnville on a 2-game losing streak, so a little bit less momentum for McMinnville coming into tonight's game.
But to be fair, Jeff, 2 of those games were, one was a hard-fought ball game that ended up getting lost late in that game, and then the other one was against Sherwood, and no one's having a good year against Sherwood in the league as far as that goes.
Yeah. And Sherwood's well on their way to win the league. This is an important game here for McMinnville tonight because 3 teams out of the league make it automatic qualify to the playoffs, David, and the top 12 teams in the state will end up going to the main playoffs, but the bottom 16 will end up in a playoff format similar to last year in the Columbia Cup. And McMinnville has a good shot if they can win here tonight to be that number 3 team out of the Pacific Conference.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. Whichever one you make, it's kind of cool that they have a different setup now, because I do think that at least gives you a chance at the end of the season if you're not one of the top teams.
Yeah, and that playoff for the 12-team playoff, the upper bracket, the top 4 teams get a bye going into the into the game. So that's going to be really important for them to, if you're a top 4 team in the state, to have that first round bye. You get to get everything better. Your injuries may be healing up or anything like that. So looks like the coin toss has happened, and I believe that I missed who was won the toss, but the captains were out there. It's senior night here in Hillsboro, so they've got all the senior players announced, the cheerleaders. I think they even announced some of the band members, David, that were here. It's kind of a sparse crowd here tonight on a beautiful evening. Of course, the only 6A game in the state tonight. All other games will be played tomorrow night. There's actually only 6 other games throughout the state of high school football, whether you're 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, or 5A, or 6A tonight. So McMinnville's got a unique chance here to kind of take the limelight in the 6A category.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, we're going to have to give updates on, like, the volleyball scores tonight, because there's no other sports going on. Girls soccer, boys soccer.
Yeah.
Will have to be a kind of hodgepodge updates of scores tonight. So we'll see how it ends up going tonight.
Good. Looks like McMinnville is going to receive the ball here to start the game as they have their return team back, and I do not see Bryce Wilson. Of course, he was hurt last week. It appeared he did something to his leg, and I don't see him on the sideline right now, but that could be a big loss for McMinnville if he's unable to go tonight. Of course, he plays offense, defense, special teams, is the kicker on field goals. So that could be a big issue for them tonight if he's unable to play. And, of course, we've talked about some other injuries. Landon Fay out for the rest of the year. In all likelihood, I see him standing over there on crutches. So we hope that nothing too bad there for him as he's able to recover from that. As we get ready to start the game tonight, and we are way back. We are way up high here at Hillsboro Stadium, so reading the numbers is going to be a little hard, but in to kick is Century, and they just do a little pooch kick like so many teams do. Up back comes from McMinnville, picks it up at the 30, going to wiggle his way through the 40, the 50, the 40, and going to be brought down about the 36-yard line of Century there. A great return that time by, I believe that might have been Drew Bazan there on the carry, or it might have been Ben McKay. So one of those two did a great job. Century trying to do what a whole bunch of other teams have done and pick up, do a little squib kick down to McMinnville to see what they can do. So,
hey, if you're studying the tape, you know that they've had troubles with that this season.
A lot of trouble. So in at quarterback, Kane Sullivan, of course, in the backfield with him, Donahue. Trips to the far side. Snap taken, just going to be a handoff right up the middle to Donahue. Shakes one tackle at the line of scrimmage. Is going to be brought down, about the 31-yard line. So a nice gain of about 5 yards on the play. And McMinnville, my guess is tonight that they're going to be doing their more deliberate offense.
Focus on smashing the ball with Donahue.
Yep.
I mean, it's been the Donahue show all season.
Yeah, he's averaged over 100 yards a game so far. I think his lowest game was about 59 to 60 yards, but he's had almost a 200-yard game earlier in the season as well. So they go double tight end or double backs in the backfield. They hand it off to Donahue, and he continues forward, and it looks like he's going to struggle close to the first down. They're going to maybe mark him just short of the 25-yard line on that play, as Carnahan was in the backfield with him in Kane.
Yeah, it's just so impressive how many people he carries forward. I mean, that was an example right there, right?
Yep.
Someone was on him. He was still running, but the guy was on his back.
Yep. So not a critical 3rd and 1 or short here, but you want to get that first down, keep moving as they go 2 backs in the backfield, either side of Kane. Kane's going to run it to the left side. Pitch option out to Donahue. Got a corner, and Donahue down to the 10, down to the 5, brought down at about the 3-yard line on an excellent option play to the left side by Kane Sullivan and company.
Yeah, and that was just really good timing there by Sullivan to pitch that ball out there to Donahue.
They had outflanked the defense, and the player had to come up and make a play on Sullivan, the defensive lineman there, and when he did that, Donahue had an open 12 yards on the pickup. So 1st and goal from the 3 here for McMinnville. 10:20 to go here in the first quarter. Single back in the backfield is Donahue. Kane takes the snap. Oh, little high snap, which they've had some problems with. He picks it up. He's going to run and going to be brought down from behind for a loss of about 1-yard line. And that has been an issue as well, David, the high snaps, the bad snaps.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately here it happens to be on offense. But, yeah, no, you're right, Jeff. There's been so many times where they've snapped it and it's been on a punt, and it looks like they're about to block it almost every time.
Yep.
It's like it's like clockwork, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But Sullivan did a good job there. I mean, it could have been worse. So
2nd and goal from the 4, loss of 1 on the play. They go with 2 wide receivers here on the near side, 1 way out to the left with Donahue in the backfield, dotting the I. Kane's going to take it off the left side. He cuts it up. He's going to drive into the end zone for the easy touchdown for McMinnville. That was just a combination of great field position and some great runs that time. Not one pass attempted on the drive by McMinnville.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I would boil that drive down to Sullivan's timing there, not only on the pitch, but then to read that play right there and then kind of take that open space, that little seam that he had there.
Yep. So McMinnville had too many players out on the field. They get the 1 off, and looks like they might go for 2. Consider going for 2 here. As with your primary kicker injured and out of the game, I kind of like this play. As they snap it directly to Kane Sullivan. Kane's going to take it and walk into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I wasn't zoomed in all the way because I was kind of scared. I couldn't tell if the formation still looked like something you would end up kind of kicking in. So I wasn't sure if they were going to or not. And they've done a really good job at kicking the ball this year. So I'm a little surprised they got the 2-point conversion there, but good job there by the Grizzlies.
I think Kane was counting the number of defenders on the right side of him, and he counted the right number, and he took it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, great run.
With 9:28 to go here in the first quarter, it's Century 0, the Grizzlies 8. We'll be back after this timeout.
Hello, everybody. Scott here from Big Box Returns, and can you smell it? I can. Football season is in the air, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it that Ty Tomlin is coming back as coach, and he is going to bring us to the promised land, to the victory that we all deserve. While we're waiting, come on down to Big Box Returns and buy a toaster, maybe a refrigerator, maybe a rug. Who knows? We're open every Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5. We are located right across the street from the Yamhill County Fairgrounds. Come on down.
McMinnville Les Schwab is a proud sponsor of Grizzly football on Yamhill today. When you shop at Les Schwab, they promise you the best tire value. This means you get free peace of mind protection and free lifetime tire and mileage care included in your purchase. McMinnville Les Schwab. They want to be the neighbor down the street you know and trust. We thank McMinnville Les Schwab for their support of McMinnville Grizzly football.
As we come back here to Hillsborough Stadium, Century takes the squib kick on a little left-hand return out to about the 39-yard line, where they will take over 1st and 10 with 9:20 to go here in the first quarter, trailing 8-0. Grizzlies are going to be quarterbacked by Xavier Garcia. He's a 6'2", 195-pound senior, as they go with double running backs in the backfield here for Century. Both now move out in motion on the far side. As take the snap, and Garcia is going to run the ball right up the middle. It's going to be met right away by big old number 73, That is Jacob Fairbanks doing a nice job staying put at the line of scrimmage for, they're going to give him maybe a half yard up to the 40-yard line, bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, and at times this season, Jeff, the Grizzlies line, especially the defensive side of the football, has done a good job at controlling that point of attack. So.
Yes, they have, and they did a really good job right there, David. So 2nd and 9 here. They're going to go with 2 backs in the backfield, 2 wide receivers split out to the right, 1 here to the left. As they look to be in no hurry either. Now both backs move out to a trips formation here on the near side. This could be another split for Garcia. He's going to pass it out to the receivers. Got the catch at about the 40-yard line. Going to get up for about a 5-yard gain. That's Benny Hurley, the 6-foot junior wide receiver there. So 3rd and a long 4 now for Century. And that was just a real quick get the ball out into the flats and get down the field.
Yeah, and I think that was Walters there on the play for the Grizzlies. Did a good job at getting out there wide and making that play in the open field.
Going to go single back in the backfield now for Garcia. Trips to the far side. As he snaps the ball, he's going to take it directly and get right up the field and going to be met by that interior again defensive front led by on that play Christian Pastrano on the play, and they're going to mark him about a yard and a half short of the first down. So big decision here for the head coach of Century as 3rd and about 1.5, and they're quickly up to the ball.
Yeah, like see if Pastrano can replicate that success again. Yeah. He was just a brick wall there.
He was. 7:25 here to go as they hand it off to the wide receiver. Going to be stuck in the background. And he burst through. McMinnville had him for a 2-yard loss in the backfield, and he used his stoutness there. Ariel Garcia, he's 5'5", 185, and he squirted through to the 48-yard line of McMinnville to get that first down on 4th and 1.5.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know how he ended up doing that. That was just incredible there. It looked like he was down. The play was made in the backfield there. He just wasn't able to keep him down.
So what I see right now is I don't see the potential for really long pass plays as Garcia laterals it out. That's actually a running play, and they get it to the wide receiver on the far side, and he does have some speed. Going to get knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line, by number 5, trailing Austin Schoaf out there making the play at the 21-yard line. He did a good job of catching up to the wide receiver, but just a little swing play, and we've seen McMinnville kind of struggle with those type of plays throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've really been tested in their open field tackling, especially on those edges there where you got to wrap them up and keep them down. I mean, it happened a little bit there in the back of the field, but right there in that open field, man, they just ripped that play open.
1st and 10, 21-yard line, handoff right up the middle, and I don't know how he snuck through, but half of the McMinnville defensive line was in there to make the tackle. And again, the little running back squirts through for a pickup of 7 yards on the play down to the 14-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like they had stuff to play initially, and then he just kind of kept his little legs moving and got through there.
Yeah, they did. It's a good
his legs are not little. It's just we're that far up here that you can barely see the players. Man.
That's exactly right. But this is a good drive to answer for Century as McMinnville took their opening drive down for the touchdown. They got 4 wide receivers in the set, and Garcia's gonna take it, and again gets hit in the backfield, but uses his strength to power forward, and officials running in at about the 12-yard line, so going to be about 1 yard short here. Going to bring up 3rd and 1 with 5:50 to go. First quarter, McMinnville in the lead, 8-0.
Moral of the story in this series right here, Jeff, has been no arm tackles.
Yes.
These guys are just going right through those little arm tackles right now.
That's a great point because you are seeing that. McMinnville's in the place to make the plays, but the running backs and the quarterback running through the tackles. As they hand it off. Again, in the backfield, hit and going to be brought down. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 12 again, so no gain in that time in the backfield to make the play. I think that might have been Bizon coming in on a blitz there. So again, another 4th and 1, a second big play here for Century as the quarterback comes over to the sideline to get the play from head coach Danny Kiernan.
Yeah, and on that play, he did a good job at just sticking the fundamentals there and wrapping him up and taking him down. On the previous plays, it looked like they were trying to put the hit stick on the guy, and they were just completely allowing him to shed the tackle. So
trips to the far side, single wide receiver here on the near side with a eye back, and they're going to run it. And again, McMinnville, this is going to be close, David, where the referee is running in. I think McMinnville may have held them by a length of a football or a hot dog.
Yeah,
what do you
no,
think?
For real. Seriously, no. The way that he came, both refs on both sides.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's short.
Yes, they do turn the ball over to McMinnville. Great defensive stand there. And as the Century team comes off the field kind of stunned right there, David, as McMinnville's offense is getting out there quickly to start their next drive.
Yeah, no, but it looks legit, though. I mean, even watching the replay there, it looks like they did a great job there at just meeting him right at the point of attack, and they just happened to hit him and stuck to him there.
100%.
Wow, what a great play there by the Grizzlies.
Yeah. Well, McMinnville back out on the field quickly as Donahue in the backfield, two wide receivers on each side of the line of scrimmage. Kane Sullivan waiting for the ball. Ball snapped back. They're going to hand it to Donahue straight up the middle and met in the backfield and brought down for a loss of about 2. Great job there by the linebacker who did a A-gap blitz right there and was at the right place at the right time.
And did his homework as well. He hit him low.
Yeah.
A lot of guys will hit Donahue high, and he'll just shed your tackles. He's so low to the ground, and he does such a good job at shedding those tackles. Unless you wrap him up like that guy did right there at the point of attack, you're going to lose him.
Yeah, Donahue's a thick guy at 5'8", 185, and not a lot of guys want to go low on him because of those legs, the power in their legs as they bring Carnahan here to the near side. Fake the pass, wide open in the middle of the field. Wide receiver with the ball going to run more east and west than north and south, and great play there. Nice catch by Cooper Case on the play. Gives McMinnville a first down, and I really like that play because Kane was settled in the pocket to make that pass.
Yeah, and then the receiver did a good job of picking up maybe one extra 7-8 yards there on the play.
Yep. Ball out to the 23-yard line now. 3:29 to go in the first quarter. Sullivan looking over the situation with trips to the far side. Donahue in the backfield. And Kane's going to run it to the right. Option to Donahue. He's got a lot of room. Out to the 35, 36. They're going to mark him at the 35-yard line for a 12-yard pickup on the play. And I tell you what, Kane is making all the right decisions so far tonight on those option plays.
Yeah, and that was just a great run right after that pitch. Donahue took advantage of the open field and picked up some great yardage there. And the Grizzlies are just moving these chains right now, Jeff.
That option is so hard to defend if you're not used to seeing it a lot. And I don't know as if a lot of teams are used to seeing it the way McMinnville runs it as they bring in that Carnahan and not sure who else is that Donahue in the backfield. Two wide running backs in the backfield now. And going to pitch it out to Carnahan this time. He weaves his way to the 40, down to the 30, or excuse me, the 45, and ultimately brought down at the 47. Another 12-yard pickup on an option.
Yeah, and it's one of those. It's a type of offense where you need to be very disciplined as an offense to execute it, because the timing is so pivotal. And when you do execute it correctly, you see the results here, Jeff.
Great drive here going for McMinnville after the 4th and 1 stop deep in their own end. We're about to hit the 2:15 mark here, the first quarter. And McMinnville just being very deliberate as they typically are. Going to bring out way here to the wide side, a wide receiver, but 2 backs in the backfield again, Donahue and Carnahan. Kane looks over the situation that the defense is giving him. He takes the snap a little bit high, but brings it down, going to pass the ball out there. It's up and looked like a little bit of grab maybe on the arm of the wide receiver. I'm not sure who that is, but he's kind of down on the field, and we hope he's okay as they're going to take a timeout here to take a look at the player. So with 1:54 to go here in the first quarter, we'll take a break too. We'll be back after this timeout.
Transitions in life. Sometimes it's difficult. When a loved one leaves us, Macy & Son is there for you, a trusted friend for 5 generations in Yamhill County. At that time, you have lots of questions and you need someone to walk with in every step of the way. Burial or cremation, and a myriad of other options, let Macy & Son walk that journey with you. Macy & Son McMinnville. Give them a call 503-472-6151. Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab wants to see you make a full and quick recovery so that you can get back into life and the things that you like to do. Their friendly staff will listen and encourage and guide you through each step of the rehabilitation process. From low back pain to post-surgical rehabilitation after a shoulder surgery or knee replacement, they are here to help. Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab. Give them a call at 503-435-1900.
The star power.
Yeah. As we come back here to Hillsborough High School, David and I were just talking about the World Series that starts tomorrow night, and they're not our favorite teams. I know Brian is a big Yankee fan, so if I leaned one way, it would be to support my buddy Brian on the play. But McMinnville, I could not see who the wide receiver was down, but he's up and walking back to the sideline. So that's good to see here. 2nd and 10 from the 47-yard line. 1:54 to go in the first quarter. Grizzlies up 8-0. Looking to put some more points on the scoreboard here.
Yeah, and I've been really impressed by their –
Nope, you're good. Nope. I tell you what, Kane should have handed that ball off. When we look at the replay on that one, Kane should have let the ball go to Donahue.
Jeff, and the thing I was about to say is I'm so impressed by Kane's decision-making and timing tonight. That's literally what I was about to say as that happened, and I was just like,
yeah, that's going to be that's a big loss of about 5 yards on the play. And had Kane let the ball go to Donahue, Donahue had big yards up the middle of the field there. But 3rd and 15 now, 1:20 to go, first quarter. Kind of a big play here for McMinnville as the defense now gets set in front of McMinnville's offensive line. Carnahan in motion across the backfield, kind of at a tight end position. Kane rolls out to the right side, going to pass it back left. A little bit of a screen play to Donahue. Donahue's got it at the 50, the 45, and going to be brought down very close to a first down. As a matter of fact, the referee comes right in at the 43-yard line. And let's see if they're going to give it to him, or are they going to bring the chains out to measure for a 4th down. The head official looking there at the middle of the field, and he points first down. Great play call right there on 3rd and 15 for the first down. The draw pass play to Donahue.
yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where it is risky to give it to Donahue, but he can rip him off for 10 yards.
Yep.
So
1st and 10, 43-yard line. This might be the last play of the first quarter. We'll see what happens. We'll see what McMinnville decides. Kane looks over to the sideline there for a minute. Make sure the play's right. Snap back to Kane. They're going to pitch it to the left. A little bit behind Donahue, but he does a good job to pick it up with his right hand. And, boy, he's just barreling forward. His helmet comes off as he gets down to about the 24-yard line. And another first down, but I do see a piece of laundry out on the field.
yeah, I don't know. Could it be face mask?
For the helmet coming off.
Yeah, for the I don't know. We'll see.
Officials talking here. McMinnville's not moving. That's usually a good sign. And if the helmet came off because of the face mask, then Donahue does not have to go out of the game, I believe. As a couple of the guys from Century starting to walk backwards, and it looks like the officials are going to call a face mask here, I think. It's a good call, David. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, only because Donahue is so low to the ground. If you're just reaching in there trying to grab him in the pile of players, it would be so easy to just grab his face mask.
Personal foul face mask against the defense. So they're going to go half the distance from the end of the run, which is going to put the ball right down on the 14-yard line. Bring up 1st and 10 from the 14 with 21 seconds to go. McMinnville really having their way on offense right now.
Just give it to Donahue until they give you a reason not to give it to him.
Exactly. And let's see if McMinnville gets this off. We're at 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. As they do snap it, Sullivan takes the ball. A little high snap, going to go off the left side down to about the 5-yard line. They'll mark him out of bounds right as the first quarter comes to an end. Our score, 8-0. Grizzlies in the lead. We'll be back after this timeout.
Are you looking to spend less and get more on your next vehicle? At Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan, they've got you covered. As McMinnville's premier Ford and Nissan dealership, they offer a wide selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all in a stress-free, customer-first environment. Their motto, big enough to serve you, small enough to care, means you'll enjoy the convenience of a large dealership with the personal touch of a local business. Visit Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan at McMinnville today or call 503-376-9650. Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan.
McMinnville Les Schwab is a proud sponsor of Grizzly football on Yamhill today. When you shop at Les Schwab, they promise you the best tire value. This means you get free peace of mind protection and free lifetime tire and mileage care included in your purchase. McMinnville Les Schwab. They want to be the neighbor down the street you know and trust. We thank McMinnville Les Schwab for their support of McMinnville Grizzly football.
Up and got it to, they kept on getting it to Donahue, and they got it to him in a couple different ways that ended up really effective. So let's see if they can carry that momentum here.
Carnahan and Donahue in the backfield. Kane takes the snap, going to hand it right to Carnahan. He's going to go up, get hit in the backfield, but he keeps those big legs going. He's a big fella at 6'2". I think he's 6'2". Well, they got the multiple numbers on tonight. So Carnahan's 6'3", 205, excuse me. There's another player down or something as the trainer comes out for Century.
Yeah, this time it's a Century guy.
And he's kind of stretching down. I don't know if he's grabbing at a leg or just got the wind knocked out of him or something, but he's a little limpy coming off, but we hope he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, usually if the guy can get off the field, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate when we have to see someone get carried off the field.
Okay, second out. McMinnville did get a first down on that play, so first and goal from the 3. And we have Donahue in the backfield, 3 wide receivers here on the near side for McMinnville. Snap comes back to Kane. He catches the ball on a high snap, pitches it out to Donahue, and what a fantastic play by the defender over there, and I can't read the number. This is the first game I was going to say that the numbers for the teams are hard to read for Century. I'm having a really hard time seeing those numbers, but player comes up gimpy again, trying to get off the field. As I'm surprised the officials don't stop that, and they do ultimately. But it was a great play in the backfield. Looked like Donahue had a angle to the end zone, and he came up and made a fantastic tackle on the far side. So second and goal from the 2 for McMinnville as the player is able to hop off the field. And one thing you'll notice here on the near sideline, David, there's not a lot of backups for Century. There's only about 15 guys standing on the near sideline here when the rest of the team's out on the field. So small, they're going to hand off right up to Donahue. He's going to get hit, get his helmet taken off, and I don't understand why we're not scoring that a touchdown because he didn't go down. And yet they're marking it at the 1-yard line. That's interesting. Okay. Well, more time runs off the clock for McMinnville. As time of possession, the officials get together, and not sure what that was all about. And I think Donahue has to go out of the game for one play. So look for Carnahan to come into the backfield. Interesting. Okay.
Unfortunately, it was breaking up, and that we couldn't even hear what he said. He was trying to tell us what happened, but it was breaking up, so we couldn't tell.
So third and goal from the 1 here, 10:56 to go, second quarter. And Carnahan now in the backfield, and that's, he's a big fella, 6'3", 205, so maybe just give it to him to pound in. Kane takes it, and he's going to walk into the far side of the end zone. Even though the high snap was there, It was a great job by him to reach up and grab it and waltz into the far side of the end zone for the McMinnville touchdown.
Yeah, he saved a couple plays in that series alone from jumping up and catching those balls. So and like the series before that, or before the weird Donahue situation, Donahue picked up a yard in a situation that probably should have been 5 yards lost, but it was a combo of both Sullivan and Donahue executing there.
So we've got number 81 in there, and unfortunately McMinnville doesn't list an 81 on the roster, so Mom and Dad, I'm sorry. Oh, how about Gabe Thiering? I found him, 5'11", 170. The kick is up, and it was no good. So with 10:42 to go in the first half, it's McMinnville 14, the Jaguars nothing. We'll be back after this timeout.
Are you looking to spend less and get more on your next vehicle? At Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan, they've got you covered. As McMinnville's premier Ford and Nissan dealership, they offer a wide selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all in a stress-free, customer-first environment. Their motto, big enough to serve you, small enough to care, means you'll enjoy the convenience of a large dealership with the personal touch of a local business. Visit Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan at McMinnville today or call 503-376-9650. Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan.
Meeting the needs of not only our team, but our community with kindness and compassion and understanding. We have those moments every day. I think that's probably the coolest part of what I get to do. Treating people with kindness is such an important thing to our hospital. From the moment I show up here to the moment I leave, it is just a collection of big, meaningful moments between the community and staff.
And that was a message from Willamette Valley Medical Center. McMinnville kicks off here. So short kick taken at about the 15-yard line, bounces past the returner. He picks it up at about the 8, going to bring here to the near side and going to be just met by a host of McMinnville Grizzlies about the 13, and then a flag comes in late on the play, so we'll see what sorts out, but a lot of times that's a block in the back or a hold on the return team. So Century might be way back in the backfield to start this drive.
Yeah, that's definitely not the penalty you want to start the half off with, or the quarter.
Yeah.
It feels like it's already half because Mac scored twice already, but
yeah,
we're only still in the first half.
Now you kind of feel like McMinnville's offense really has control of this game, but the defense, they did allow quite a long drive by Century, but stopped them down deep. Let's see if they can stop him a little bit sooner than maybe midfield on this drive, David, and really kind of set the tone. They are calling a block in the back, so it's going to be half the distance. So Century going to start with the ball just shy of the 7-yard line there. Trailing 14-0 with 10:34 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they were truly living the bend, don't break on that series.
Yes, they were. A phrase that Brian coined a long time ago, and it's been very apropos to McMinnville at times. As the Garcia now in at quarterback he's going to get some pressure in the end zone, going to run out and be flushed. Looks downfield. Oh, and just takes a lick right there by McMinnville, and that big lick was Mason Justice come up on the quarterback. And Xavier Garcia is not a small guy, 6'2", 195. But boy, did he take just a smack by Mason Justice. Great play there by the defense. They did give up 5 yards on the play, so 2nd and 5, and McMinnville really put the pressure on in the end zone.
Yeah, but it was a good group tackling.
Yes, that was fantastic. And one of the things we have to get used to here tonight's game, normally in high school football we don't have a down clock, but we do have one. There's 12 seconds left. We don't have to look at the back umpire to know if they're getting close to the play, as they do a little pitch here on the near side to the run play. And great job just stringing that out on the defensive front. There was Christian Pastrano again, just moving down the line, forcing the player to just keep moving down the line, and then got some support from the safety coming up to make a plan. That's going to be a loss of 2.5, 3 yards on the play, brings up 3rd and 7 from the 10 now for Century.
Yeah, you definitely want to see him not only at the edge, but then they came in and actually made a good tackle there for the loss, so that was good there.
Yep.
Just good just team defense there.
I was a little worried coming into this game how McMinnville would respond to the kind of blowout loss last week at Sherwood, but they look pretty good here tonight so far, David.
Yeah, they've stayed pretty disciplined here in the early going.
And just as we say that, the announcer's jinx, eh? This is going to be offside on McMinnville. And, well, Mason Justice made a good play just a minute ago, but that time he was a little eager. I think there might have been a blitz on, and he came up and crossed the line of scrimmage. So instead of 3rd and 8 or 7, it's going to be 3rd and 2 from the 15-yard line.
If I start complimenting Century, do you think it'll happen the other way around?
Yes, do that, please. Please do that. Ball back to Garcia in the backfield. He drops the ball and just going to have to eat it. And that's a big play for McMinnville because you're pretty sure the Century's not going to go for it now. 4th and 10 deep in their own end zone at the 7-yard line.
And it's hard to tell if it was because he messed up the handle, handing it off, or if he just, I don't know. It was just really weird because all of a sudden it just fell in between both of them.
Yep. Good job by the defense to stay put and to pounce on him. And now normally a place where Bryce Wilson would be, we got 2 returners back for McMinnville about the 35-yard line as the punt's going to come from just outside the end zone, it looks like. As Century snaps it back and the punt is away. It's a pretty good kick. Going to be taken at the 37-yard line. Going to get a return here to the near side to the 30. Going to be run out of bounds at about the maybe 22-yard line, 19-yard line. Great job there by McMinnville. But I think we might have a flag on the play. It's kind of hidden by the soccer field markings there. We'll see what this play is. Hopefully it's not a roughing the passer, or roughing the kicker, I mean. As they move the flag clear up from the 12-yard line to the 19-yard line. So we'll see. McMinnville's backing up, so penalty's probably going to be on them. But that's okay. They're still going to have great field position to start their 3rd drive of the game.
Yeah, I think maybe a block in the back. A hold.
Holding. Yeah, we can kind of hear some of the announcements being made by the official. I do like that they try to get the microphones and that sort of thing on the officials so that everybody in the stands can hear.
Yeah, it adds for so much more clarity in the games. Newberg had a really good system last week, or 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. So McMinnville's still going to have excellent field position. Instead of having the ball on the 19-yard line of Century, they're going to have it on the 29-yard line. Leading 14-0 with 7:51 here to go in the second quarter. They start their 3rd drive, and in the backfield, of course, Mr. Donahue. I'd like to see a heaping helping of him here on this drive. Snap back to Kane. He's just going to hand it off to Donahue straight up the middle. Cuts to the left. Looks like a face mask there. Going to cut it outside and going to be close. Going to bowl over the defender and going to be in for the McMinnville touchdown.
Was that enough of a dose there for you, Jeff?
That was the dose I asked for. 29 yards on the play off the right side, and great patience and then great power at the end by Donahue to just rumble into the end zone for the touchdown. And McMinnville now looking to extend the lead to 21-7 pending the extra point.
Yeah, Century could only handle a single serving of that, man. That was crazy. Right. Great run there at the end. Oh, my goodness. Donahue just powered right through him. As I'm watching the replay, it's just as impressive as it was the first time around.
Yeah, the ball's snapped back. The kick is up. And the kick is good. So with 7:39 to go here in the second quarter, it's McMinnville 21, Century Jaguars 0. We'll be back after this timeout.
If you are looking for a financial advisor located here in McMinnville, Bethany A. Blinn has you covered. She has a holistic approach and understands what is most important to you, using an established process to build personalized strategies and partnering with you throughout your life to help keep you on track. Her investment philosophy is a long-term approach with an emphasis on quality, durability, historical context, and common sense. Give Bethany at Edward Jones a call at 503-472-0555.
Are you looking to spend less and get more on your next vehicle? At Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan, they've got you covered. As McMinnville's premier Ford and Nissan dealership, they offer a wide selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all in a stress-free, customer-first environment. Their motto, big enough to serve you, small enough to care, means you'll enjoy the convenience of a large dealership with the personal touch of a local business. Visit Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan
As you saw the pass interference occur there against McMinnville. So Century's going to get the ball 15 yards down the field. Going to put the ball at the 47-yard line of Century. And questionable call, but official was right there, so hard to argue with him.
Yeah, I think the only reason they ended up calling that is because he came over the back on him, but it was close. So, like, it wasn't like he impeded that. Like, the ball got there and he got there. It was just kind of 50-50, I thought.
Garcia back to pass again. Gets some more pressure from Fairbanks. Going to be flushed, and Carnahan, quarterback's going to throw the ball just out of bounds. Great pressure there by Fairbanks and Carnahan on that left side of the defensive front to force Garcia to just throw that ball away.
And it was actually a pretty good throwaway there. Mm-hmm. The throwaway itself was impressive.
Almost into that softball field, off into the distance on the far side of this beautiful complex. City of Hillsborough really has a nice place for a lot of sports to be able to play. So,
yeah, and they're already breaking ground on that new Hillsborough Hobbs Stadium, too.
That'll be exciting. I think it'll be ready not this year, but next year. As Garcia takes the ball again, pass formation, just flips it out here on the near side, and in and out of the receiver. And I tell you what, McMinnville, Elias Fanati there, the ball might have been close to being out of bounds, but he might have had a chance to pick that one off here on the near sideline. Brings up 3rd and 10.
And with 7:11 to go, the Grizzlies leading 21-0. Just an incredible game so far that we've had here.
Yeah. McMinnville's looked very sharp after a tough week last week. And, they've got some key players that are sitting on the sideline for McMinnville due to some injuries. And the guys, their backups, they're playing hard tonight. So big play here for the defense. I'd like to see them get the stop here, see what they can do. Century's gone trips to the far side just about every play tonight and bring in a couple different running backs, Garcia in the backfield right now for Century. As McMinnville brings an all-out blitz, and Garcia's going to step up, throw the ball over the top, and I'll tell you what, Carnahan had to make a decision there whether to come up and play the quarterback or play the wide receiver who was sneaking down the field, and he came up to the quarterback, and Garcia pitched it over the top to Garcia for a great pickup down to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, such a great pass there.
Yeah.
Just good timing, good patience there. The defense was just streaming downfield. They were coming pressuring hard, but it was just a great pass there. He just kind of threw the little teardrop there and just got it right into the receiver's hands.
Garcia's in the backfield. He hands off to Garcia, and he's going to take the ball straight up the middle for the touchdown. Nice answer by Century on that play. Just took him about 3 plays to go the distance of the field and score with 6:37 to go here in the second quarter. They're going to, looks like they're going for 2, or are they going to line up for the kick? I think they're lining up for the kick as they're going to put down the tee that they can use in high school. Yeah, Garcia's the holder. Kicker, I cannot read his number, but he's in there. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and the kick is good. So with 6:37 to go in the second quarter, it's now the Jaguars 7, the McMinnville Grizzlies 21. David, what do you expect from the offense now coming out? They've kind of had their way. Throughout the first half on offense. What do you anticipate them to do here on the next set of downs?
Well, I'll be interested to see if maybe Century gets a little bit of a boost of energy there defensively, having seen their offense go down there and convert something. It wouldn't be out of the question to see Century come out here with a little bit better energy. So hopefully the Grizzlies are able to mix up the play call as they did earlier. I think that was really the key to getting Donahue involved, is they kept the defense guessing and weren't making it easy for them to just kind of settle down and be like, all right, we're just gonna fill the box here. We're gonna stop your run. Grizzlies did a good job at mixing in some pass plays, getting them into the open field, handoffs, using the option, spreading out that defense, forcing them to just kind of not just sit back and stop the run down the gut, but also having to beat them on the outsides and then also tossing it over the top. So
we got the score updated on the online version, which is good. 21 to 7 here in the second quarter. McMinnville ahead. 6:37 to go, and this is a great time for McMinnville to maybe take a long drive, take a lot of clock off, and go into the halftime maybe leading 28-7. I don't know. It'll just be something fun to do. That's my guess. But we'll see. You can't get ahead of yourselves here. You get a big lead, and then sometimes you let down, and that's certainly not what McMinnville wants to do right now.
Well, you don't want to give Century momentum right now.
Correct. Yeah. You don't want to give them any thought of having a chance here. There's a little pooch kick here on the near side. It's going to hit it about the 23, picked up at the 15, straight ahead now. And there's a big gap on the sideline. McMinnville, oh, boy, the wide receiver there. That is, I think that was Cooper Case with the return there. His feet looked like it slipped out from under him, and but he did a great job. Gets the ball right to midfield, so about a 35-yard return on the play. And again, McMinnville with excellent field position to start their 4th drive of the game. They've scored on all 3 other drives, so that's a good sign there.
Yeah, it looked like he was kind of trying to stop to kind of like shuffle his feet and get out of the way, but he was just going so fast forward. It almost looked like he had the whole sideline. It was really close.
Yep, it did.
It closed down quick, though.
Kane back in at quarterback with his backfield mate, Donahue, both seniors, so just a couple more games left for them in their kind of storied McMinnville's football career. He takes the snap a little bit high, passes it out here on the near side, and in and out of the hands of Case. A little bit of a rush job there, I think, by Kane to get that ball out to the wide receiver, because there was a little bit of room there if he had made the play.
Yeah, and after the way that Case ran that ball back, you want to get it back in the open field with him.
Yep. 2nd and 10. Kind of went off script there. McMinnville's kind of been going run instead of pass, and now you're kind of behind the chains here. 2nd and 10. Right at midfield. 2 wide receivers. Now Carnahan comes back, and they're going to hand it to Carnahan in the backfield, and he's wheels outside and going to pick up about 6 yards off the right tackle there, and just did a good job. He's got a big body, and he's tough to bring down.
Yeah, that's all. Surprised he didn't take that first window straight into the players, but he did get a little edge on him and picked up good yardage there.
Now, I got to wonder if this might be 4-down territory for McMinnville. The coach here on the near sideline keeps kind of yelling at the official. Not sure what he's unhappy with, but he keeps pointing at the official. But 2 running backs in the backfield, Carnahan and Donahue. Kane waiting for the snap, gets it. Going to go back to pass, quick out pass, and unfortunately that's only going to be about a gain of maybe a yard or 2. Yeah, about a yard. Wide receiver there, that out to Case again on the far side, and not probably the best play that they wanted, but again, I think they were 4-down territory there, and I'd already made that decision, so we're okay with going to either 4th and 3 or 4th and 4.
It's because you called it.
And this is a little bit of a big play here because Century showed on their last drive that they can move the ball, and if you give them good field position here, they get the ball coming out of halftime, so kind of a big thing here.
Well, unfortunately, Jeff, some of the moments for the Grizzlies this year where they have won have come off of picking up momentum after getting beat down for a little bit.
Going to hand off straight ahead to Donahue, and he's just going to rumble forward right up the A gap and for about 6 yards and pick up a much-needed 1st down on 4th and 3 for McMinnville to keep this drive alive now. Ball at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and in a series where we didn't see Donahue touch the ball, in the biggest moment, he gets the ball and converts that play. So great job there by Donahue.
And I like the way McMinnville's just being deliberate, taking our time, get up to the line of scrimmage with about 15 seconds or so to go in the play clock. Sullivan just, nonchalantly in the backfield with Donahue. And again, trips to the far side. Both these teams like trips, don't they? As Kane goes into the back, and a wide open receiver there for McMinnville on the far side. A beautiful 38-yard touchdown pass. And I think, is that Wyatt Ackley on the end of that reception? Or is that Austin Schoaf on the play? It is Austin Schoaf. We have confirmation of that. What a beautifully thrown ball by Kane to Austin. He couldn't have been any more wide open down that far sideline, putting McMinnville up 27-7 with 4:23 to go here in the first half. And I tell you what, this offense is humming right now for McMinnville.
Yeah, and just a great play there, man. Oh, man. He was wide open, but at the same time, he hit just the timing just right there. And great conversion there by the Grizzlies.
And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 4:23 to go here in the second quarter, McMinnville kind of having their way right now against Century, 28-7. And Century, I kind of wondered coming in, I had seen their roster ahead of the game and knew that their numbers were down. And I tell you what, I I kind of, sympathize with them because there's not a lot of backups that get to play in this ball game. It's 11, 12, 13 guys playing most of the snaps, and that's going to get tiring after a while. So McMinnville doing a good job of jumping out on top of them to start this game.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, though, Jeff. I think the Grizzlies might be in a similar situation. I think we just got a lot of bodies over there,
Yes.
but I don't know how many of them can actually play right now.
That's a good point. Yeah, there's a ton of them. I see a couple sitting on the bench on the far side. I see many of them in just the jersey with like sweats on. So maybe that's maybe that is a little bit deceiving on the far side there. As in to make the kickoff is Gabe Thiering, and he comes up to the ball and just kind of gets a nice high kick. Going to be taken at about the 20, 25, 30, 35. Got a nice little run back there by Century over the 40-yard line. The pile keeps moving. 45-yard line, maybe 44-yard line, and that's a nice return for Century as they start this drive.
And low-key something, Jeff, that I hadn't thought about for the Grizzlies, what they're missing tonight is Wilson's kick.
Yes.
Wilson has been so clutch this season with his kicks. He's been kicking them out of the end zone.
Yep.
He's been hitting some nice field goals. He consistently has been kicking really well for the Grizzlies. So that's another thing. Wilson is just, he obviously they're doing well without him tonight, but he's such a huge contributor.
Yeah.
It's you start noticing all the little things that he contributes.
Yeah, 15 yards as a good kickoff down to the 15-yard line, but Wilson's able to get it to the goal line, and that is a big difference. If you can get it to the goal line, you start at the 20 instead of the 44. So 1st and 10 here. They're going to hand the ball straight off to Garcia right up the middle. Oh, no, that was a pitch play. That fooled everybody as the wide receiver is going to run to the far side. A little bit of laundry comes out from the officials on the far side, and that's usually a block in the back against a wide receiver out there blocking, as the defender often will turn to run towards the play, and the block will sustain. So going to negate about a 17-yard pickup on the run there and bring it on back. It'll be probably 1st and 8 or 9 from about the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and the cruddy part there, too, is he did not need it blocked back. The whole defense crashed on the inside runner, and then there was only like one guy all the way on the edge there, and that's the guy that ended up having to get that block in the back, but he didn't even need to.
Yep. And that's so hard when you're a wide receiver out there on the far side if that play's coming to you because, like I say, the defender can turn his back, and if you're still blocking, that is blocking the back, and I kind of think maybe that's what happened there a little bit. So 1st and 9 now. You don't hear that very often from the 45-yard line. 4:02 to go here in the second quarter. Glad you're joining us here on 1260 KLYC and YamHillToday.com as they do a little pitch here to the running back, and he's going to be hit in the backfield. A great job there by McMinnville's Mason Justice to stay home and actually drop the running back for about a 2-yard loss. 1-yard loss. Now back to the original line of scrimmage, so bring up 2nd and 10 from the 44 as the clock continues to move here in this quick-moving first half. Both teams running the ball a lot, and that's going to lead to a running clock that continues to move.
Yeah, both teams have been super slow and deliberate in every play that they run.
Yeah, and I think that is deliberate because they want to limit the number of possessions each team has. And McMinnville's been 4 for 4 on their possessions scoring touchdowns tonight. Back to pass is Garcia. He rolls out to the near side, going to drop it off. And I tell you what, that is just a nice little play. They drag a wide receiver over, and that's Gavin Chesley there, a 5'9", 150-pound wide receiver that just kind of drags all the way across the field and waits for him to come open. And Garcia did a good job getting the ball into a catchable position for the wide receiver. And that is good enough for a first down at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, and with that particular play calling, he just shows great patience and the ability to have pressure right in his face and know that he's probably going to get hit, but he can wait.
Yeah.
He waits until that moment where they can actually get it out in the edge and force a one-on-one with the defense.
Yep. 3:10 to go. First half. Garcia waits for the snap. Looked like a wide receiver moved, and I think the officials saw that. The inside wide receiver in the slot flinched a little bit on the snap. So back him up for the illegal procedure.
Yeah.
False start. Yeah. We heard the false start part of it anyways.
Yeah,
and
with
the
3:10
microphone
to go.
went in and out. Yeah, that at 5 yards at this point is a really important 5 yards for McMinnville. So 1st and 15 now from the 48 of McMinnville. Ball snapped back. Garcia looks to pass. Got a wide receiver here on the near side. And, just out of the reach of Andrew Williams streaking down the sideline there. Almost looked like it might have went through his hands. But the play was there. And Garcia did a good job of getting it right on target.
Yeah, no, what I was about to say, Jeff, was with only 3 minutes to go here almost, the Grizzlies came up with a big stop there because Century ended up shedding a lot of time off that clock. And now they're in a really tight position here with only 3:05 to go. They're down 28-7. So,
well, if McMinnville can get a defensive stop here relatively quickly, that leaves them a little bit of time maybe to put some more points up on the scoreboard heading into halftime. Garcia, single back in the backfield, kind of in that pistol formation there as a running back comes in motion now through the back. Handed off straight up the middle to Garcia and going to be met. And I'll tell you what, that is all guts right there to get 3 yards. Garcia was hit multiple times in the backfield by the McMinnville defensive front as McMinnville takes a timeout here to save some time on the clock. So I think Coach Ty Tomlin may be thinking like I do, man, if we can get the ball back, we might be able to put a little bit more points up on the board.
Yeah, with, 2:54 to go here, they're already at 28-7. Pretty close to getting that running clock here, Jeff, and we were joking earlier. It's not too often that the McMinnville Grizzlies are the ones causing that, you know.
They have been on the other side of that many times or several times in the years that I've done games for McMinnville. But, there's nothing wrong with getting, you got to get to 42. You got to be up by 35 at some point, and then once you hit 35 points ahead, the running clock starts. Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves because when we do that, Century comes back and ends up winning in a close one. I don't know, so I don't want to jinx that.
I wouldn't be upset by it, but that's because I'm not down on the field playing right now.
Exactly. It is a beautiful night. You got the highway just off in the distance there, but the wind doesn't look like it's very much as we look at the flags on top of the goalposts. And no rain for this time of year. This is fantastic football weather, and I urge you, tomorrow night. Like I say, this is only one of 6 games in the state tonight, but tomorrow night there's a whole bunch of high school football games going on across the state. And if you have time or inclination, go out and watch these guys because they're fun to watch. They do a lot of practice and deserve our support. So ball snapped back to Garcia. McMinnville with a rush, going to get the ball away, and there was a player wide open in the middle of the field, but I think Garcia was rushed by the defensive front of McMinnville and just underthrew that ball there.
Yeah, he's been very cool under pressure all night and just been clutch and where he's dropped that ball tonight. But that time, the Grizzlies did just enough defensively there, not only down the field, but to get in his face and pressure him into a bad pass. Good job there by the Grizzlies.
Now, are they going to go there? Looks like they're dropping back into punt formation, but not real deep, only 10 yards deep. And usually your punter's a little bit deeper than that, but McMinnville's playing it safe. They've got 3 linebackers close to the line of scrimmage, so they're not expecting a fake, but the punt is away. It's going to be taken at about Bazan lets the ball hit and bounce and going to be down inside the 10-yard line, maybe about the 7-8 yard line. They're going to mark it at the 8-yard line. So with 2:38 to go here in the first half, McMinnville takes over, and they got 92 yards to go to pay dirt. And with 2 timeouts left, I think they can, they can at least try it, right?
Yeah, that was great execution there by Century to get them deep there. So at least I think they would hope to just grind out the clock and not get scored on.
Yeah.
But the Grizzlies have an opportunity here to score as well, though. The way that they've been ripping off plays here tonight, Jeff, it's not out of the question.
Absolutely not. Remember, the clock does stop in high school football with a first down, so that helps you a little bit. And, of course, when you get out of bounds, it does stop as well. And they got 2 timeouts in their back pocket. So Sullivan in the backfield again with Donahue. Trips here to the near side. Sullivan drops back into the pocket, and he's going to throw it up. And that is in and out of the hands of Case. The ball was right there, and Case just could not come up with it. Hit him right in the hands. And also it looked like in on the play was Elias Fanati. He was wide open down the middle as well. So can't blame that one on Sullivan as the ball was beautifully thrown. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the 8-yard line with 2:31 here to go in the first half.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate because it looked like Caseman had just gotten ahead of himself there.
Yep. Got to make that catch and then start to run. We'll see if they run the ball here. They do. Hand off straight up the middle of the field to Donahue. He breaks it off the left side just a little bit. Going to get out to the 22-yard line for the pickup of the first down. So clock does stop. McMinnville getting ready to be on the ball when it's set. And the ball's down now. And the clock is moving now. Inside 2:20 to go here in the first half.
Donahue took that ball like, just give me that damn ball.
Yep. And he ran with it. Sullivan back to pass. Going to pass it right into the middle of the field. And I think is that Case again there on the catch. Out to the, that is Caleb Long with the reception out to the 21-yard line. Up 22-yard line. They give him the first down as they're having problems getting the chains moving. But the ball is set, ready for play. Inside 2 minutes to go here. McMinnville driving nicely here. Give the ball to Donahue straight up the middle. He's going to break a tackle at the line of scrimmage, break another tackle at the 50, continues breaking tackles clear down to the 40-yard line of Century, and that was all Donahue.
Yeah, he was looking like Marshawn there, shedding tackles. Yeah. He didn't get hit directly, but he was just running right through past everyone, and then one guy almost got him down. He shed him off his back and then just kept on going.
I like these play calls here because Century's not quite sure if they're going to run the ball. We're at 1:30 to go in the first half. Plenty of time now that you're inside the Century territory. They give the ball again right up the middle to Donahue, and he's hit at the 40 but moves forward to the 44-yard line, and Ty Tomlin runs to the official to make the timeout with 1:18 here to go in this first half. I like this drive. I really like this drive.
Yeah, and Donahue's made it very easy for Coach Tomlin to manage the time right now because he ripped off a 30-yard run there, and then he only picks up 5. So it's like, all right, we'll take the timeout now. We already had the clock stop with that first down initially. So,
and you think that they started the ball on the 8-yard line of their own 8-yard line, and they've already punched it out over 50 yards down inside the 40-yard line of Century. So Century coaches call their whole defense over here to the near sideline to make sure that they are all on the same page on defense. And another defender kind of limping off the field just a little bit for Century, so we hope he's okay. McMinnville now breaks the huddle on the far side. And McMinnville just play, kind of, I don't want to say they're playing loose, but they're playing with urgency to get this win here tonight, David. And like I say, a win here tonight really does go a long way of securing that third place in the league for them, as Sherwood and Newburgh will be the top 2 teams in all likelihood. Sullivan takes the pass, fake handoff, rolls to the right, going to pass it out on the far side. That's Fanati. Tiptoes down the sideline and hit out of bounds at the, they're going to say he's inbounds at the 26-yard line. Looked like he stepped out of bounds, but officials decide that they're going to keep the clock running here in just a minute as the chains get set, and the clock is winding with 1:05 to go. McMinnville on the ball quickly. Kane takes the snap, drops back into pass, and throws. Oh, nope, he's going to take the sack. I thought he had thrown the ball, and unfortunately that's going to cause McMinnville to burn their last timeout of the first half on the 7-yard sack there by the Century Jaguars. Would have been better if he had thrown the ball away, although he was standing in the pocket, so he couldn't have thrown it away too badly without a wide receiver in the area. But now that kind of limits what you can do here on offense, now that you can't stop the clock anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they had set the play up very well there initially with the play action, got into the edge, got out of bounds, still had some good time. Just that sack there, like you said, just completely deflated that series there. I mean, they got down the field, but Century's thinking in their mind, hey, at least we got them stopped here, and with 54 seconds to go, with 28-7, the Grizzlies leading the Jaguars. I don't know, Jeff. What do you think here? What do you think they dial up? Do you think they dial up another pass play or run with Donahue?
I kind of, to be honest with you, I like an option play here to the sideline. That way, if the player is close to the out of bounds after the pitch, he can just step out of bounds and stop the clock. So we'll see here. They got the wide field here to the near side, and they bring over a safety here on this side to help. Kane Sullivan takes the snap. He's going to drop back into pass and getting more pressure. Going to have to run out of the way, and now going to run down the sideline and get out of bounds. Stop the clock with 45 seconds to go. They're going to mark him right at the 25-yard line. And, this is where having Bryce Wilson out of the game hurts you, because this is about probably his field goal length that he could realistically make a 40-yard field goal.
And that's a double-edged sword there, because not only do you have the field goal from him,
yeah,
but you also have the pass threat where he can beat most of his
exactly
guys.
That speed down the side. Yeah, that is correct. Third and 8 from the 25, 44 seconds. Ball back to Kane. He looks to the right, passes back to the left to Donahue, and that play was sniffed out by Century. Brings up 4th down. McMinnville's got to get up to the ball quickly as clock ticking. Now we're inside 30 seconds. 4th, and we'll call it 6 for McMinnville. Time's a-wasting. And they snap back. Sullivan back to pass. Looks over the middle and going to be picked off through the hands of the wide receiver. Picked off by the Century player on the far sideline. Brings it back out to the 31-yard line. And that is just an unfortunate way for that drive to end for McMinnville with 13 seconds to go here in the first half, leading 28-7.
Yeah, no, and it's crazy because, like I mentioned earlier, it felt like Century was picking up a little bit of momentum there, and with an interception there, they don't feel as bad going into halftime with a positive play there, and maybe even possibly a score. I mean, it's 13 seconds. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. They have 3 timeouts left, and just to recap, they'll get the ball to start the second half here too. So get some points here, and then get some points coming out of the halftime. It makes it a real close game at that point, doesn't it? So we'll see here. They send one wide receiver here way to the far side. Going to bring Trips here now with him. And Garcia in the backfield with the running back. Garcia back to pass. Looks to the left. Now going to come over the middle. And that could be, caught. And they're going to say incomplete. Ooh, okay. They're going to call that play incomplete. I thought he had made the catch and made a move with the football. And then I thought McMinnville recovered the play, but the referees have other ideas on that. So brings up 2nd and 10 with 6 seconds to go here. So you got to call your 6-second, 69-yard play here. They go Trips here on the far side. McMinnville drops way back off, 20, 30 yards off the line of scrimmage. Garcia's going to step up. He's got a lot of room in front of him. Just keep him in play, and they do. And that is going to be the last play of the first half. That was a great first half by McMinnville on the offensive side of the ball. The defense stood up when it needed to. Our score here from Hillsborough Stadium in Hillsborough, McMinnville Grizzlies 28, the Jaguars of Century 7. We'll be back with the halftime show after these messages.
Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab wants to see you make a full and quick recovery so that you can get back into life and the things that you like to do. Their friendly staff will listen and encourage and guide you through each step of the rehabilitation process, from low back pain to post-surgical rehabilitation after a shoulder surgery or knee replacement. They are here to help. Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab. Give them a call at 503-435-1900.
Hello, everybody. Scott here from Big Box Returns, and can you smell it? I can. Football season is in the air, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it that Ty Tomlin is coming back as coach, and he is going to bring us to the promised land, to the victory that we all deserve. While we're waiting, come on down to Big Box Returns and buy a toaster, maybe a refrigerator, maybe a rug. Who knows? We're open every Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5. We are located right across the street from the Yamhill County Fairgrounds. Come on down.
I think I might come on down on Saturday to Big Box Returns there, David, as I just love those commercials that Big Box does. And actually a thank you to all of our sponsors, Willamette Valley Medical Center, Andrew PT, Macy & Sons, Edward Jones, Bethany Ablin, Chuck Colvin Auto, and so many more that we just really appreciate out there with us. Les Schwab, of course, sponsors not only us, but so many sporting events throughout the state of Oregon in the high school football. We really love that. As we've come up on the 8 o'clock hour, and just want to say thank you that you're listening to Grizzly Football here on 1260 KLYC and YamhillToday.com. Well, that was an interesting first half, David, for McMinnville, able to score on 4 of their 5 possessions, and the offense was just humming. It seemed like they could do nothing wrong in that first half except the turnover.
Yeah, and it looked like the whole first half, you're like, man, they're going to run away with this thing. They're going to go crazy. They're going to just run the ball all day. And then all of a sudden, just a series of just odd events there to end the half.
Yeah.
They don't end up scoring again, but you feel like they're going into halftime with control of this game.
Exactly. And we haven't been able to say that for the last couple of weeks for McMinnville. And they need to come out now and second half kind of get their dominance on defense going again. They will be playing defense. Century will be receiving the ball to start the second half, and that was why I thought it was really important that they stop Century on that last drive.
Yeah, I mean, even though you don't score, you still have that momentum of having come up with a big defensive play.
Yeah.
And that's been one of the biggest things that they've struggled with this season is the defensive stops. They've been able to get the offensive side of the ball rolling. I mean, even against Sherwood, like you mentioned earlier, they were able to get some points on the board. So the offense hasn't been a question all season for them.
Yeah, and that interception that came through, I'm not really sure that was totally his fault. The ball did go through the wide receiver's hands. It was deep in the backfield down towards the goal line. So you can't fault him for trying to get that play in there, especially with they had no timeouts left and they were trying to score and put up some more points on the defensive side of the ball. As you get ready to come out of the halftime, what do you think one of the keys are for offensive side of the ball for McMinnville?
I would go as far as just saying that if the receivers focusing on their plays, because you had two plays there, one downfield where it was at least a 30-yard gain, where the guy just kind of lost focus for a second and just started to run without the ball. And then down here, like you mentioned, just an interception. So there's not a whole lot to critique them on tonight. So just really just staying focused and executing here in the second half.
And that running game tonight so far with Carnahan, Sullivan and Donahue doing a yeoman's job getting those pitch plays when they've gotten 12-yard carries multiple times off that.
Yeah, it's been really effective tonight. The running, they've been able to pretty much do whatever they want, combined with that option, like you mentioned earlier, just keeping that defense honest and not just allowing them to set up shop and try to stop them in the box. They've been forcing them on the edges and just mixing up the play call really well tonight.
Yeah, and I don't want to say this because it's not, I don't want it to come from the wrong place, but they're not missing Bryce Wilson tonight, to be honest with you. Guys are stepping up, both on the offensive, defensive, and special team side of the ball tonight. His replacements have been in there making plays, and that's good to see, although I'd like to have Bryce Wilson come back next week.
Yeah, no, I mean, unless you're nitpicking like we are tonight and you recognize the contributions that Bryce Wilson brought all season, they haven't missed him as much as we would normally see in other games.
And I kind of feel that way about Landon Fay. Yes, he's a great player, but his backup has come in. His backup's the guy that have been replacing him and done a good job on that offensive and defensive line too. So, there's some depth there, and that's good to see.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked about it even off air, the toughness of these guys.
Yes.
So the backups to come in and execute so well, that just is a testament to the quality of the players, but not only that, but their toughness too, man.
100%. And then Fairbanks playing both sides of the ball on offense and defense, really kind of anchoring that defensive line at times when he's needed to. And he's done just a fantastic job, as has in there Christian Pastrano made several big plays tonight, moving down the line of scrimmage to screen out plays and getting in the backfield to make some sacks.
Yeah, no, it's been nice. I mean, yeah, you don't ever want to see guys go down, but when you start seeing other guys step up and you start saying other names because those guys are now making the plays, that's exactly what you want to see from your team as a coach.
100%. So, starting to develop that depth that – say Sherwood has. I'm not sure if you'll ever get to that point, but Ty Tomlin getting some of that depth, getting young players to play, even Fanati in there tonight as a sophomore, I believe, getting some run at wide receiver. Last week, in the last couple of weeks, we saw him play running back. So moving parts, it's good to see starting to think ahead for years to come, especially because Kane Sullivan and Donahue, your two studs in the backfield, are going to be gone next year. So players are going to have to step up.
Yeah, and I mean, that's always kind of it sucks, but at the same time, it's always fun to see who the next guy up is. You always hate to see guys like Donahue leave because he's been so good and just so strong this season, last year as well. So it's like it's kind of the end of an era, but at the same time, you're always ushering in the next group of guys. And as we wind down the season, we start thinking about this just
Yeah.
because next year you're like, man, who's going to step up?
Who's
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Every year you always kind of like, man, I don't know if they're going to be able to fill that guy's shoes, and they somehow do.
But they do, yeah. 15 years ago, I think Spencer Payne was the running back. Well, then they had another running back come in, and et cetera, et cetera. And now Donahue kind of carries that tradition for McMinnville of a good running back who can get yards. And like I mentioned at the top of the show tonight, Donahue is averaging over 100 yards. So he has been doing a really good job. And we don't have stats here tonight with us, but I'm going to guess he's pushing close to 100 yards rushing the ball tonight, and probably should go well over 100 yards once the game's over.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably point to 2 plays right off the bat where he's probably ripped off for 50 yards already. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't need to see it to know it. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Well, it's the halftime show here from Hillsborough Stadium in Hillsborough. The Grizzlies on top, 28-7. We'll have more of the halftime show after this timeout.
Are you looking to spend less and get more on your next vehicle? At Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan, they've got you covered. As McMinnville's premier Ford and Nissan dealership, they offer a wide selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all in a stress-free, customer-first environment. Their motto, big enough to serve you, small enough to care, means you'll enjoy the convenience of a large dealership with the personal touch of a local business. Visit Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan at McMinnville today or call 503-376-9650. Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan.
Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab wants to see you make a full and quick recovery so that you can get back into life and the things that you like to do. Their friendly staff will listen and encourage and guide you through each step of the rehabilitation process, from low back pain to post-surgical rehabilitation after a shoulder surgery or knee replacement. They are here to help. Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab. Give them a call at 503-435-1900.
Meeting the needs of not only our team, but our community with kindness and compassion and understanding. We have those moments every day. I think that's probably the coolest part of what I get to do. Treating people with kindness is such an important thing to our hospital. From the moment I show up here to the moment I leave, it is just a collection of big, meaningful moments between the community and staff.
And that was a message from Willamette Valley Medical Center in McMinnville. Welcome back to Hillsborough Stadium with David Manriquez. This is Jeff Ivy, and we are about 6 minutes away from kickoff here to start the second half. And David, this is normally the spot where we do some scores. The problem is, tonight is Thursday, and there are not a lot of high school games going on. As a matter of fact, this is the only 6A game going on in the state of Oregon. There are some 1A games way over Eastern Oregon that were going on, and I think a 2A and a 3A game, but really not a lot of scores to go over. I can give you a NFL score if anybody's interested. My Minnesota Vikings fall to the LA Rams 30-20, and that's a 2-game losing streak for the Vikings after a hot 5-0 start. Of course, last night, Portland Timbers and a heartbreaker. I know, 5-0. My daughter's boyfriend, Gene, big Timbers fan. Before the game, I sent him a text that said, "Go Timbers." And after the game, I said, I think I jinxed him because
you jumped on the bandwagon.
I've always liked the Timbers, but he's a season ticket holder and loves to go to the games, and he goes a lot of times with his dad. And I was just like, "Come on, Timbers, let's win!" And well, they bowed out of the playoffs unceremoniously. Of course, last night the Blazers also started play in the NBA and did not have such a great night. But coming up this weekend, we've got Oregon State heading down to California. That's going to be a tough game on the road for the Beavers. And, of course, Oregon, I believe, is at home hosting Illinois. I think it's number 1 versus number 20 or something like that. And it's going to get a raucous place down there at Autzen Stadium. So, of course, you can catch the pregame show of the Beaver game 2 hours before kickoff, and kickoff for Oregon State game is at 1 o'clock. So the network Beaver pregame show will be on 1260 KLYC at about 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, with the game to kick off at 1, and you can catch all the action here on KLYC 1260. It's one of those things where, McMinnville needs to come out and put some more points up on the board, really can take dominant control of the game. you feel like they have it, but 28-7, that's still within reach for Century.
Yeah, no, definitely, and especially the way that they kind of closed that half out, Jeff. As I mentioned, it was just kind of a series of odd situations that closed that half out, where it gave the Jaguars a little bit of hope, a little bit of life, and that's, sometimes that's all you need in these games.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give them that. So we're going to take our ninth break of the night here with about 3 minutes to go before the teams come out of the locker room. It's the Grizzlies 28, the Jaguars 7. We'll be back after this timeout.
If you're looking for a financial advisor located here in McMinnville, Bethany A. Blinn has you covered. She has a holistic approach and understands what is most important to you, using an established process to build personalized strategies and partnering with you throughout your life to help keep you on track. Her investment philosophy is a long-term approach with an emphasis on quality, durability, historical context, and common sense. Give Bethany at Edward Jones a call at 503-472-0555. Transitions in life. Sometimes it's difficult. When a loved one leaves us, Macy & Son is there for you, a trusted friend for 5 generations in Yamhill County. At that time, you have lots of questions and you need someone to walk with in every step of the way. Burial or cremation and a myriad of other options, let Macy & Son walk that journey with you. Macy & Son McMinnville. Give them a call, 503-472-6151.
As we come back here to Hillsborough Stadium, McMinnville just coming out onto the field to do their warm-ups here before we start the second half. And, well, it's an important first possession for Century. David, they're doing a little dancing moves here to the music that's being playing. But I tell you what, McMinnville comes out with some energy, David, and they're ready to go as you see them jumping up and down there in the middle of the field, getting their final warm-ups here before we start the second half. Do you have any keys to the second half?
All I'm going to say is you're not going to get Brian to shake it during Party in the USA. So that's a different, that's a stark difference.
It is.
With who you got in here tonight. But no, I just want to see, like you said, I just want to see Donahue maybe rip off one more big one before they shut him down for the night, because I imagine they're not going to run him the rest of the night if he ends up ripping one more big play and one more touchdown. So just for my personal joy, I'd like to see Donahue rip off another one because he's having such a good night tonight. But, yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I'd like to see just a little bit more focus from the receivers, like I said.
Yes.
And then just that continued discipline, because they've given up, one penalty
yes,
tonight?
Only one on McMinnville.
So, yeah, they just not hurting themselves tonight.
100% agree with that. As it's senior night here at Century, so this is the last time those seniors from Central will be coming out of the tunnel for a game here at their home field. And you know that they're going to want to go away with a good taste in their mouth, so they're going to be playing hard here in the second half. So we'll take our final timeout here of the halftime show and be back shortly. McMinnville 28, the Jaguars 7. You're listening to McMinnville Grizzly football on Yamhill Today and 1260 KLYC.
Hello, everybody. Scott here from Big Box Returns, and can you smell it? I can. Football season is in the air, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it that Ty Tomlin is coming back as coach, and he is going to bring us to the promised land, to the victory that we all deserve. While we're waiting, come on down to Big Box Returns and buy a toaster, maybe a refrigerator, maybe a rug. Who knows? We're open every Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5. We are located right across the street from the Yamhill County Fairgrounds. Come on down.
McMinnville Les Schwab is a proud sponsor of Grizzly football on Yamhill Today. When you shop at Les Schwab, they promise you the best tire value. This means you get free peace of mind protection and free lifetime tire and mileage care included in your purchase. McMinnville Les Schwab. They want to be the neighbor down the street you know and trust. We thank McMinnville Les Schwab for their support of McMinnville Grizzly football.
If you're looking for a financial advisor located here in McMinnville, Bethany A. Blinn has you covered. She has a holistic approach and understands what is most important to you, using an established process to build personalized strategies and partnering with you throughout your life to help keep you on track. Her investment philosophy is a long-term approach with an emphasis on quality, durability, historical context, and common sense. Give Bethany at Edward Jones a call at 503-472-0555.
which is ranked number 1. They're ranked number 1 in the state, and then Franklin, which I believe is ranked up there as well now. I believe Franklin is the best team in their league.
Okay.
So, and that's not common. Usually it's I believe that one usually goes to Grant or Central Catholic. So.
Okay. And McMinnville has notoriously been known to have some good soccer clubs throughout the years, especially on the boys' side. So
yeah.
It's always an exciting time of year when you get close to that end-of-year playoffs. It's mixed emotions for parents and players, the seniors. If you never know when that last game might be if you're in the playoffs. But McMinnville certainly looking to move along here, and as is this football team. If they can get a win tonight, that's going to really help their chances making that extra free football, so to speak, at the end of the year. So
yeah, imagine all 3 of those programs making playoffs. That's always
Wouldn't
the fun
that be
part
awesome?
to see the success through every program, making playoffs. You may not necessarily win state, but if your teams are playing in the postseason, it's always fun to see that.
Well, and it just injects a little bit of excitement into the school as a whole. So as McMinnville now ready to kick off, and they are set to go as the kicker approaches and going to kick it off. A nice kick down to about the 22-yard line. Running back just going to bring it up the middle and be swarmed by that McMinnville return coverage team at about the 35-yard line. They're going to put the ball, looks like, just right down on the 35. So starting the third quarter, McMinnville ahead 28-7. And I think this defensive series here for McMinnville kind of set the tone for how the second half should go.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's out of line to say that this is probably Century's most important series here. If they're able to score here, they're able to switch the momentum of the game, and they can crawl their way back into this game easily. Yeah. They're definitely not out of it, but if McMinnville can get a stop here and get a stop and a score, they definitely take control of this game.
Going to hand the ball off straight up the middle, and McMinnville's interior defense, that running back, just like Donahue, does not quit. And I believe that's Garcia up to the 39-yard line. Just on a quick hitter. They're going to move it back to the 38. So getting the yards is always such a challenge sometimes when you think you know exactly where it is, and then it's really 5 yards away from where it was. So now they move. The official comes in, picks the ball up from the 38 and gives him the 39, which is where I originally thought he was. So 2nd and 6, clock moving, 1:15 to go here. Third quarter, we just started. Thanks for joining us here on yamhilltoday.com and 1260 KLYC. As the ball snapped back, going to give the ball up to Garcia again. He ducks inside and then kicks it to the outside, and that was a smart move because he's going to get down close to a first down there. Looks like they might put him down just a football short. Yep, ball right between the 44 and 45-yard line. We all know that there is no 44.5-yard line. So that's my pet peeve. Just going to say it. Brian tends to agree with me on those. As they hand the ball off quickly to Garcia. He takes the ball up the middle, weaves and dodges, and he's one tackle away from breaking it for a big one, as he is just a patient back in those holes that are created, and then when he sees an opening, he hits it quick.
He ripped off about, 20?
Yeah, 15 yards on that play, yeah. Yep, down to about the 41-yard line. First down. Clock continues to move, 10:15 to go in the third quarter. It was a quick moving first half. And Garcia waits, going to quickly pass on a backwards pass, a lateral, get it out to a wide receiver, and going to be down the field for about a 7-yard, 8-yard gain. Mark him down all the way to the 32-yard line, it looks like, and he comes up limping. We've seen several players for Century come limping up after plays, and that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, and they don't have a whole lot of guys off the sideline either. So.
Nope. It's always interesting. One of their wide receivers never goes into the huddle. I don't know if you've noticed that, but the wide receiver here on the near side never goes into the huddle. 2nd and 1. This is an opportunity maybe to look for a pass down into the end zone. They swing it out wide, and the wide receiver catches it but falls down.
I got tricked there. I went with the running back, so sorry for the viewers.
Mason Justice, though, right there was going to make a play on the pass, quick pass. It was going to be, they're going to actually call it incomplete pass now. So that's actually a great job for a great result of the play for Century, because it was going to be, instead of 3rd and 2, it was going to be 3rd and 5. Or 3rd and 4, excuse me. 9:06 to go. The clock does stop on the incomplete pass.
Makes up for that fumble play.
And the coach is saying the ball was at the 33-yard line or 32-yard line, which I believe it was. But because the down marker had moved, now they're all confused. All the close officials come up, and they're going to talk about it for a second. So we got 3 huddles on the field: the huddle of the umpires, the referees, the huddle of the McMinnville players, and the huddle of the Century players.
There's been some weird situations tonight.
It's odd, as the officials now calling the players back out to the field, away from the coach, and still talking, and they're going to move it up to the 32, which is, I believe, the right call. So I thought it was 2nd and 1 when they had the ball. And they do adjust it. So now it's 3rd and 1. And again, that incomplete pass really did help Century, because it would have been 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 1. And you got to figure you're going to give the ball to Garcia here on an inside handoff again, because McMinnville's had a little bit of problem stopping that here in the second half. Not sure why more time was put back up on the clock. It's 9:18 now as they run the ball. That McMinnville had a chance in the backfield yet again, but the running back runs through and makes the play. Garcia is a tough runner, and really impressed with him tonight.
Yeah, he just did a good job there at powering through. He got hit in the backfield, kept on going. He got hit low on the body, kept on going, and then just piled right through his defender there. Wow, great run there. And like you said, just feed it right down the middle until they prove that they can stop it.
Yeah. Inside 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Quick pass, going to be wide receiver turned in, and he looked like the quarterback Garcia threw it on the out. He's going to be incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line. Yeah, Garcia had plenty of time there. I don't think he had to throw it so quickly. As 3 players come here to the near side. The wide receiver here on the near side is Andrew Williams, and he's the wide receiver that never goes into the huddle, I've noticed. Garcia waits for the snap. Ball back to him. He's going to look to the right and pass right over into the middle, and almost tipped by a McMinnville linebacker there, but great job of concentration by the wide receiver for Century, and the drive continues, and this is exactly what head coach Denny Kiernan wanted to have happen coming out of the halftime.
Yeah, if you're Century, this is exactly what you wanted. Even if it is slow and methodical,
yeah.
There's still quite a bit of time left in this game, and you're not down by very much.
No. And they have been able to move the ball pretty well here against McMinnville, although a couple times they've had the ball deep and McMinnville's defense is bend, but didn't break. I'd like to see that happen right here. Maybe a turnover, some sort of defense. As McMinnville primarily plays a zone defense when they're in the passing play, as they hand the ball up to the middle to Garcia, the running back, hit multiple times in the backfield and continues to move forward down to the 10-yard line for a big 10-yard gain. They're going to bring up 1st and goal from the 10 as the clock ticks inside of 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 28-7 is our score. Mac in the lead.
Yeah, Garcia just keeps on turning those legs. There is no stopping him right now.
I mean, McMinnville's been in there to make plays, but you mentioned it earlier, arm tackling is not the way to bring him down.
No. It's kind of he's not as powerful as Donahue in a lot of ways, but he's got a similar build where it's like you're low to the ground. It's really hard to tackle you, and if you don't do a good job at securing the player, they're going to run right through you.
That time the defense did a better job, as it was a quarterback draw to the other Garcia, the quarterback Garcia, and he's going to pick up maybe 1 on the play, brings up 2nd and goal from the 9. We're going to hit the 7-minute mark here to go in the 3rd quarter. And so far a 5-minute drive to start the half for Century. This is just what the coaching staff for Century dialed up coming out of halftime, I'm sure. Limit the number of possessions McMinnville had. here in the second half as Garcia goes back to pass, looks in the middle of the field, and I think the wide receiver heard footsteps from Austin Schoaf there because he kind of went up, and then it looked like his hands kind of came down a little bit, got those alligator arms going a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, exactly. No, I mean, it looked like he was about to catch it, just coming across the middle there, but like you said, all of a sudden his arms got a little bit shorter there.
Yeah, I think he heard footsteps or a potential collision had he made the play there. So 3rd and 9 from the 9, 3rd and goal, I should say. Clock to stop with 6:48 to go. It's a good drive by Century. They started at about their own 39-yard line, now at the 9-yard line. Trips to the far side. Ball back to Garcia. He fakes the pass. Going to be a quick slant and in and out of the wide receiver's hands, and that time it was intended for Andrew Williams. And he's been the lone guy here on the near side all night long. It brings up 4th and goal from the 9. So got to figure that Century's going to go for it from here. And again, McMinnville was here earlier, you remember, on the 8-yard line. And it was 4th and goal, I believe, from the 8-yard line. Or 4th and 1 from the 8. And able to stop him there. So what do you draw up here? Some sort of trick play?
I mean, I might even just run it if I'm them.
Yeah.
Just as the sort of success that they've had with the run hasn't been that bad.
Yeah, because Garcia has been a stud runner up the middle of the field all night long. As McMinnville now, he's going to drop back to pass. Looks over the middle of the field, wide open. Touchdown. Garcia to Williams. It was a great play, and McMinnville, of course, plays that zone defense, and the wide receiver just ran right into the middle of that zone.
Yeah, just right into the cushion, and number 5's like throwing his hands up, but it's like the guy was right in front of you. So it's just kind of just well drawn up play. Sometimes when you have that zone, there's gonna be soft spots right in the zone, and when you drop the right play, you end up hitting the right spot there, and that's exactly what happened for Century there. Just a dream series there. Not only did they kill the time, but they also got a score.
As they're having somebody come off the field for Century, it looks like the quarterback has been told to leave. The holder has been told to leave, or one of the blockers. I'm not sure who it is, but not sure if he got a bell rung or something. But we've got a new holder back in there for Century. Kick is up, and the kick is no good. So with 6:41 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's now McMinnville 28, the Jaguars 13. We'll be back after this timeout.
Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab wants to see you make a full and quick recovery so that you can get back into life and the things that you like to do. Their friendly staff will listen and encourage and guide you through each step of the rehabilitation process. From low back pain to post-surgical rehabilitation after a shoulder surgery or knee replacement, they are here to help. Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab. Give them a call at 503-435-1900.
Are you looking to spend less and get more on your next vehicle? At Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan, they've got you covered. As McMinnville's premier Ford and Nissan dealership, they offer a wide selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all in a stress-free, customer-first environment. Their motto, big enough to serve you, small enough to care, means you'll enjoy the convenience of a large dealership with the personal touch of a local business. Visit Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan at McMinnville today or call 503-376-9650. Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan.
Welcome back to Hillsboro Stadium in Hillsboro, Oregon. McMinnville up 28-13 after the Jaguars take the opening drive and score a touchdown but miss the extra point. So they are ready to kick off, and they do a little squib kick, and that ball better get on it. There you go. Nice job by McMinnville, covered up by Ben McKay on the near side. So McMinnville have decent field position, about the 32-yard line, to start their first drive of the second half. It's important to put some points up, answer that drive, David, as Century did a good job coming out of the halftime break and putting points up on the board themselves. So let's see what McMinnville can do here with their first drive.
Yeah, Century executed just exactly the way they would have wanted to. They were able to kill quite a bit of time, and they're able to do it slowly and methodically going down the field. capitalizing it with a really good pass.
Donahue in the backfield, 2 wide receivers on each side. Sullivan waiting for the snap, changing maybe the play or barking out some instructions as the pitch comes. So they're going to pitch it out to Donahue. He's got some room on the far side if he can break a tackle. Out to the 40, going to be brought down to about the 40, 41-yard line. Nice play there of 8 on the pitch option on the far side as actually they move the ball back to the 40-yard line, not the 41. So good start to this drive right there.
Great response.
Mm-hmm. Now just keep it going. And I like those pitch plays out to the edges tonight. They've had great execution between Sullivan and Donahue on just about every play.
Yeah, and especially after a series where you had Century just ripping off the runs, you need to get your run game going and kind of control the clock again.
Sullivan takes the snap. It's a little high. Down to Donahue. Donahue up the middle, and he's going to use his power and get forward, but flag comes in late, probably in the spot of a hold on the far side. So we'll let the officials figure this one out, and most likely going to be backing up McMinnville 10 yards on the holding penalty. We'll see.
Yeah, not a great start here for the Grizzlies. Not only do you give up a touchdown, but you give up the second penalty of the game here in a crucial position.
Yeah, we're going to negate a first down run. Oh, you know what? Personal foul face mask.
Oh, my goodness.
Against Century as McMinnville's team had started walking way back like they thought it was on them. I thought it was on them, but that's going to be a great job. 15 yards at the end of the run. Going to put the ball down inside the 42, right at the 42-yard line of Century.
What do we know, Jeff?
Yeah, well, we're so far away. The officials are really close, right? Down there on the field. So this is that's a great surprise there for McMinnville fans. Bring in the wide receivers a little tighter than normal here as Fanati goes in motion in the backfield. Fake to him. And it's going to be a pass. And, again, wide open and going to just overthrow it this time as Caleb Long was breaking free again on a very similar touchdown pass in the first half from Sullivan. And I like that play on first down when you've got momentum going. Try and see if you can break another big one.
Yeah, the timing and everything was just right. He didn't have too much pressure.
Nope.
He had a chance to set his feet. It was just a touch at the end of the play there. He just slightly led the receiver just by too much, but it was it was a perfect play, perfectly drawn up play. You just got to feel like, oh, man, I could have had that.
Yep. And that's one of those plays where you wonder if Bryce Wilson's in there, if his speed is able to help him catch up to that. But you got to put that in the rearview mirror. 2nd and 10 now. As a bad snap, but Kane does a good job bringing that down. Is going to run to the far side and pick up about 3. They're going to mark him out at the 40-yard line with 5:24 to go here in the third quarter. Thanks for joining us on the game tonight.
Yeah, he turned a play right there that more than likely would have been a negative play into a positive play. So huge props there to Sullivan at converting that and making something positive out of it.
Yeah, and that's that senior leadership. He's got 3 years of being the starting quarterback here for McMinnville, and so plays like that don't phase him as much as maybe a younger quarterback would. They go trips here to the near side. Single wide receiver on the far with Donahue, of course, in the backfield. Snap back a little bit high and wide, and the ball is on the ground. Sullivan picks it up and is going to just scamper out of bounds, going to lose 3 yards on the play. And, again, a bad high snap is just causing havoc in that backfield on these last couple plays for McMinnville. Going to bring up 4th down now and 10, I believe, or 3rd down and 10. I thought it would be 4th down. I lost it down. There we go. It is. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to say it's 4th down. Are they going to go for it here?
They're going for it.
Okay, interesting. Fanati moves into the backfield with Donahue. We haven't seen Carnahan in the game in the second half that I remember. Donahue, quick out, and going to be just outside of the reach of Case on the far side. And ball's going to go over on downs. And you talked about momentum shifting, David. I feel like it's shifted, don't you?
Yeah, no, especially the way that Century's executed here in the second half. They've done everything they needed to do coming out of the halftime.
Yeah.
They got a great drive, scored, killed time, gave the ball back to McMinnville. McMinnville kills almost no time, turns the ball over in a better position than they would have gotten it if there would have been a punt.
Yep.
I mean, everything is going just
Yeah.
right for Century right now. If they can get a score here,
Yeah,
Jeff,
we got a ball game. It's 5:09 to go here in the third quarter. Century with the ball, taking over on downs at their own 43-yard line, trailing 28-13. As that looked like an illegal substitution there. I got to be honest with you. Here you can't see it on the screen, but it looked like an illegal substitution. They're going to pitch the ball to the running back, who's running to the right side, and good job there of coming up and making a play as McMinnville player kind of gets up gingerly. That was Carnahan, so good to see him in there on the defense, but he's kind of favoring that right shoulder there in the middle of the field.
He's trying to get out. Yeah, he's trying to get out.
Yeah, I think so. He had a big hit there. Backup coming in there is Henry Seahaver, who's very capable.
Yeah, no.
But you just hate to see another injury for McMinnville. So 2nd and 5, clock moving at 4:30 to go. They're going to hand off to the right side, and great defense that time. In there on the play quickly was Antonio Duenas. Wow, what a play he played. Haven't called his name much this year, but boy, he was fired off the ball and made a great play in the backfield. Going to be a loss of about a half yard maybe. Brings up 3rd and a long 5 for Century as we hit the 4-minute mark here of the third quarter.
Yeah, now you're getting what you need out of McMinnville. On the McMinnville side, you wanted to see them coming up with a big stop here, and it's kind of coming to fruition here. But let's see if they're able to execute here on 3rd down.
Garcia takes the snap, quick pass, going to be right there, and nice reception on the play. And again, those zones, areas that are there for the picking, and Garcia delivers the ball to the wide receiver on the play and gets a 1st down to the 35-yard line for the Jaguars, and momentum has clearly shifted to them here in this third quarter. You can even see a little quick step in the quarterback as he runs back to the line, to the huddle, gets the play in quickly, and boy, they are right up on the line of scrimmage, ready to go. Garcia takes the snap, steps back, going to be a quick pass here. Nope, gets pressure, but he's going to run out and going to get by, pick up 10 yards on the play. Just a little scramble on the far side down to the inside the 25-yard line. They might put it at the 24, but 10 to 11 yards on the play and another 1st down for the Jaguars.
Yeah, no, Garcia's just sitting back right now. He's going through his reads. Earlier, he found a player open, hits a player right there. He sees a little bit of open field, sees some green grass. He took advantage of that.
Yeah.
Right now, just like they always say, Jeff, taking what he sees right now, and he's making some great plays with that.
Something that's odd that I'm just going to mention, the 25-second clock is actually 35-second clock, and it started at 35 the last 2 plays for the Jaguars. I don't know if that's a mistake or what's going on there, but again, Garcia takes the ball off of a quarterback kind of draw and gets see, it's at 40 seconds now.
Yeah, it starts at 40.
They're playing college rules right there, and that's not correct. They should be playing high school rules, which is 25-second clock. But anyhow, ball down to the 18-yard line, 2nd and 4 with 2:40 to go in the third quarter.
Well, to be fair, though, I haven't seen that clock get too far down there.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't been close for either team. But I just think that's odd. That's somebody's got the wrong timing system going. But that's okay. That's okay. And I think it's been that way for both teams. So not a big deal. But trips to the far side. And again, I'm going to guess they're going to go into a pass play into a zone area on this play, 2nd and 4. They hand it off. And great job again. Fairbanks on the edge that time stuffs Garcia in the backfield for a loss of about 3. Brings up 3rd and 7 or so from just inside the 21-yard line.
Yeah, and at least what we have seen from them, they've stepped up their game as far as stopping the run. Now it's a pass that all of a sudden has become difficult to stop.
Yes.
So it's like they got to find a little bit of balance here where they can stop both of those things.
100% agree, and I got to figure that this is 4-down territory for Century. As running quarterback gets the play from the sideline. Gets into the huddle quickly and out. Garcia's in the backfield, both running back and quarterback. As Garcia waits for the play, he gets the ball and a quick pass. McMinnville did a good job of covering that one up as Garcia. McMinnville again. had him short of the line of scrimmage, and he just uses power, and McMinnville players not wrapping up, and that is a tough one as they're going to get a first down right about the 11-yard line, and the drive continues as we near 1 minute to go here in the third quarter of play. A quick moving third quarter of play as time of possession has been dominated by Century here.
Yeah, and there's just been some fantastic quarterback play.
Yeah.
Between passing the ball and running the ball at the right times, he's done such a good job at maintaining that team's composure here in the third quarter, where now they're back in the game almost.
Yep.
They got to score still, but they're almost back in the game.
40 seconds to go, third quarter. Garcia snaps and gets the ball, and they're going to be a quick pass, a lob play into the corner of the end zone, and the ball comes out at the end. Was a nice try. It was really close, wasn't it? As that was Williams again, I think, here on the near side, trying to make a play as he was backpedaling and just could not come down with the football.
If the quarterback would have completed that pass right there, oh my goodness!
Yeah.
The quarter he's had so far.
Yeah.
I mean, he's feeling it though. He put it right in the hands. So.
Right in the corner of the end zone where only his player was going to get it. And, had he made the play, he might have owed his wide receiver an ice cream cone or a milkshake or something after the game tonight, because that would have been a sweet play. Oh, Chick-fil-A, there you go. Anyhow, we got 28 seconds to go here. Third quarter, man in motion across the backfield. Garcia takes it. He's going to run straight up the field and hit multiple times. McMinnville finally brings him down, and they're going to put him down at the 6-yard line, and that probably is going to be the last play of our third quarter. 15 seconds to go here, and I don't think Century's going to be too much of a rush to get the next play off. Yep, as our coach calls the team over. That'll be the final play of the third quarter. Our score from Hillsboro, it's McMinnville 28, the Jaguars 13. We'll be back after this message from the Willamette Valley Medical Center and some of our other sponsors.
Meeting the needs of not only our team, but our community with kindness and compassion and understanding. We have those moments every day. I think that's probably the coolest part of what I get to do. Treating people with kindness is such an important thing to our hospital. From the moment I show up here to the moment I leave, it is just a collection of big, meaningful moments between the community and staff.
Transitions in life. Sometimes it's difficult. When a loved one leaves us, Macy & Son is there for you, a trusted friend for 5 generations in Yamhill County. At that time, you have lots of questions and you need someone to walk with in every step of the way. Burial or cremation and a myriad of other options, let Macy & Son walk that journey with you. Macy & Son McMinnville. Give them a call.
As we come back to Hillsboro High School, it's the fourth quarter. Things are getting a little tight here for McMinnville. They lead 28-13, but the Jaguars are driving. Third down on McMinnville's 6-yard line. And McMinnville, like I say, leading 28-13. This is the time for the defense to step up and to bend but don't break, as Garcia's in the backfield for Century. Look back at the coach, get a new play. Handoff to Garcia in the backfield. And I'll tell you what, again, McMinnville had him in the backfield, didn't they? He was dead to rights in the backfield, and I'm not sure who that was that had him by the legs, but he's just too strong and too mobile in that backfield, and Garcia takes it off the left side of the offensive line for the touchdown. So with 11:54 to go, it's 28-19, and the extra point will be coming shortly for Century.
How big is this extra point, though?
Oh, it's huge.
It puts them within a score.
Yeah.
And then a 2-point conversion.
Yep.
But, oh, my goodness. This has become a very exciting game, unfortunately for McMinnville fans, fortunately for Century fans.
Yep.
Here on senior night.
We talked about this was our worry coming out of halftime, didn't we, that McMinnville's got to do something here. They're going to go for 2 on this play. Don't blame them. Try and get the extra point here as they hand off. Again, in the backfield. Do they get him? They tackle him forward, and they're going to say he is
just short of the goal line,
Oh,
David.
my
Oh, my
goodness.
gosh. That was so close. So our score is going to remain 28-19. It's a 2-score advantage for McMinnville as we take a timeout here. It's 11:54 to go in the fourth. 28-19. McMinnville in the lead. We'll be back after this timeout.
Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab wants to see you make a full and quick recovery so that you can get back into life and the things that you like to do. Their friendly staff will listen and encourage and guide you through each step of the rehabilitation process, from low back pain to post-surgical rehabilitation after a shoulder surgery or knee replacement. They are here to help. Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab. Give them a call at 503-435-1900.
Hello, everybody. Scott here from Big Box Returns, and can you smell it? I can. Football season is in the air, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it that Ty Tomlin is coming back as coach, and he is going to bring us to the promised land, to the victory that we all deserve. While we're waiting, come on down to Big Box Returns and buy a toaster, maybe a refrigerator, maybe a rug. Who knows? We're open every Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5. We are located right across the street from the Yamhill County Fairgrounds. Come on down.
Back at Hillsborough Stadium, 28-19. Mac in the lead, but it's precarious right now as Century kicks off, and they do an onside kick, and great awareness on the far side over there, I think, is that Caleb Long with the recovery right at the 50-yard line. So McMinnville, well aware of what might be coming at them on that onside kick. Excellent special teams play there, and they get the ball in great field position to start their first drive of the fourth quarter.
No, super clutch because, like you mentioned earlier, there's been a couple times this season where the Grizzlies haven't done too well with that short either squib kick or onside kick.
Yeah, they've struggled at times on special teams. 11:52 to go here in the ball game. Snap back to Sullivan. He hands the ball straight up the middle to a tough running 2-yard gain by Donahue.
He had dudes all over his back.
He did. And I half expected him to come squirting out of there with that power in those legs that he has. But to no avail, but they give him about just over a yard gain there on the play. I believe that's Carnahan. Good to see him back in the backfield with Donahue. Gives options as McMinnville pitch play to Carnahan. He runs to the outside. We're going to have a hold here. This play is coming back, unfortunately, as I think Donahue was holding on the edge. And they're going to negate a nice 15, 16-yard play there. Donahue kind of shaking himself and actually shakes hands with the guy he was holding on the far side.
Good sportsmanship even when making the wrong plays, I guess.
Yeah. And that's too bad because, again, I don't think he needed to hold there. I think Carnahan bounced it outside away from the defender there. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which was at the 44-yard line. Move it back to the 46-yard line of McMinnville. Going to bring up 2nd and 16.
Century is ecstatic right now.
They are.
Everything is going their way right now.
Everything seems to be going their way. And those guys are playing hard. I got to give them credit because there's not a lot of players on the sideline, not a lot of subs. They've had to go both ways all night long.
And they gave up a big lead to start the game.
Yes.
So you've just been grinding it out the whole game.
Yep. 11 unanswered in that second quarter or third quarter there for McMinnville. They haven't scored since the second quarter as we got a false start here. So everything that could be going wrong for McMinnville right now is, and this is where, that pressure of having a big lead starts slowly eroding, kind of starts playing with your mind.
Yeah, especially when you haven't had any success on either side of the ball. There hasn't been a lot of success on the offensive side. You're out of your rhythm offensively where you're giving up really bad penalties that come down to discipline.
Yep.
And then your defense is also a struggle.
Yep. The second half has sure been a struggle. The first half, McMinnville was moving up and down the field, but, man, this second half has really challenged them on the offensive side of the ball. Sullivan gets the pass. He drops back, 3-step drop, pass here on the near side. It's going to be caught in the middle of the field. That catch is made by Austin Schoaf. Does a good job. He gets about 7-8 yards on the play. We'll give him 8. Going to bring up 2nd down and 13. Check that 3rd down and 13. Clock continues to move. We're going to get inside just about 10 minutes here to go by the time the next play is snapped. Now, is this 4-down territory, or are you going to punt?
I think you got to punt.
I do too, Coach.
Only because of what your team is going through right now.
Yeah.
They're going through things right now.
Yep. Sullivan takes the snap, going to roll out to his right. Pass back the other way to Donahue. He's got to get upfield, going to get away from one blocker, and is he going to able to step forward? And that is going to be close, David. That they're going to mark him out at the 41-yard line, a yard short. I like that play, though. The misdirection, get everybody rolling to the right side of the defense, throw back to the left, and hopefully you have one-on-one, which they did. And there was good coverage there by Century. So I think McMinnville's going to go for it here. And the one thing that scares me is the high snap.
The high snap. And if there's a turnover right now, this is not the time or place.
Yep. We're at 9:09 to go here. We got two backs in the backfield, Carnahan and Donahue on either side of Sullivan. As Sullivan takes the snap, going to hand it straight ahead to Carnahan. Carnahan going to get upfield. Good job. Spins away and going to kick up about 4.5, 5 yards on the play. Keep the clock moving. Nice job by patience of Carnahan just to get through the gap, get the first down, and then pick up what you could. So clock continues to move now. We're at 8:45 to go here, fourth quarter.
Yeah, no, that was super clutch because he could have easily tried to just put his shoulder down and try to drive through, but he waited until the blockers were there.
Yep.
And that ended up really working out really well for him there.
So now I have a feeling McMinnville's really going to slow down. There's 17 seconds left on the play clock. As Sullivan kind of looks over the defense, kind of stands there for a bit, just letting clock tick, tick, tick. 5 seconds to go on the play clock, and we've got offsides, I think, on the defense.
Yeah, the first time defense had any mistakes here in the second half.
Free 5 yards. McMinnville will take it, reset the play clock, and I believe it'll continue to go. So Fanati going to come in. This is interesting. I thought Fanati was coming in for Carnahan. He's coming in for Donahue here, and we remember the clock moves now, and we remember that Fanati had 2 fumbles last week in kind of critical positions. So or 2 weeks ago. So let's hope that he doesn't do that. He can learn a lot there. As McMinnville continues, they got Sullivan's just going to wait for the clock. I mean, why not take another 20 seconds off? They're just standing there. Maybe they'll put the defense to sleep. As they snap the ball and they give the ball to Fanati. He's got some speed to the outside, and he's going to get the corner with the first down and more. Inside the 15 down to about the 12. Well, they'll give him the 13-yard line. And there you could see the speed of Fanati to the edge, David.
Yeah, you can see why the coaches were drawing up the plays to him last week. He just wasn't executing.
Yep. Well, and, he's sophomore. And in those big bright lights of your first real big playing time in a high school game, I mean, he's played at other times, but really carrying the ball, you learn things from getting fumbles, right? You learn to carry it a little higher and tighter and 2 hands on it. And right there, he did a fantastic job of moving the ball down to the 13-yard line. 7:22 to go in the fourth quarter. And this could be the capping drive if McMinnville can put some points on the scoreboard here. Snap comes back. They're going to give it to Donahue straight up the middle, and he gets hit and spins some more. Look at that. Keeps going, and he's going to score a touchdown. Nope. They're going to say, I don't understand. The pile was still moving. What is it because his helmet came off that they stop the play? That could be. His helmet came popping off again, and that could be why. Is once the helmet comes off,
they need to take that helmet's that boy's head
to prevent injury. I think maybe that's what it is they stop the play. But ball inside the 3-yard line, right at the 3-yard line, right at the hash where they snap for the extra point, and 6:45 to go here in the fourth quarter, and McMinnville looking to put a little topping on this game here, put no doubt on the field that they are going to win this game. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. You got to get into the end zone. No turnovers, no nothing. Let's see what's dialed up here for Fanati and Carnahan in the backfield. My guess is Carnahan. Oh, Well, it was supposed to be Carnahan. Sullivan did a good job of pulling the ball back when Carnahan wasn't in the right place.
He was gone.
He was gone.
Carnahan was already downfield on that play.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I'll take off another 20, 30 seconds off the clock. They put the ball right back down on about the 3-yard line.
All right, round 2 for Donahue.
That's right. Let's see. He's back in. Him and Carnahan in the backfield. Gonna be on either side of Sullivan. Need a good snap here. You kind of feel like give it to Donahue here for the touchdown. Up, they're going to go Carnahan straight up the right side and in for the touchdown. Nice drive by McMinnville after the onside kick failed and they only had to go 50 yards, but they put together a nice drive there of some clutch runs by both Fanati and by Carnahan and by Donahue. All three running backs doing a good job on that series.
Yeah, and it was just really one of the most important times of the game, where it was the momentum was shifting and the control over the game was shifting over to the Century side. So the Grizzlies doing a good job there at kind of taking control of this game again.
Getting ready for the extra point as this ball is snapped back. The ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. With 5:46 to go in the game, it's McMinnville now on top, 35-19 over Century. We'll be back after this timeout.
If you are looking for a financial advisor located here in McMinnville, Bethany A. Blinn has you covered. She has a holistic approach and understands what is most important to you, using an established process to build personalized strategies and partnering with you throughout your life to help keep you on track. Her investment philosophy is a long-term approach with an emphasis on quality, durability, historical context, and common sense. Give Bethany at Edward Jones a call at 503-472-0555.
Are you looking to spend less and get more on your next vehicle? At Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan, they've got you covered. As McMinnville's premier Ford and Nissan dealership, they offer a wide selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all in a stress-free, customer-first environment. Their motto, big enough to serve you, small enough to care, means you'll enjoy the convenience of a large dealership with the personal touch of a local business. Visit Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan at McMinnville today or call 503-376-9650. Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan.
As we come back to action here, the kickoff is taken at about the 10-yard line, and great coverage by the McMinnville special teams on the play. Ball runner's going to be dropped down at about the 24, 25-yard line, where with 5:37 to go here in the game, Century will start their next drive to try and put some more points up on the scoreboard and make this a little bit closer game. But they are down by 16 points, so that's still only 2 scores if you make the 2 extra point conversions. So we'll just throw that out there as a possibility. But McMinnville's defense now needs to step up here in the final 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, and the only downfall for Century is they haven't really had a ton of explosive plays. They've had some good plays, but they've been a little bit shorter. You know, they've been 10, 15 yards. They haven't busted out anything for 30, 40 yards. So
quick pass out there to the far side. Going to pick up maybe a yard. Now they're going to say it's a no gainer on this quick swing pass as we're at the top of the hour. You're listening to Grizzly Football on KLYC McMinnville and watching and listening on YamhillToday.com. I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening, as Brian is off this evening doing some duties that he had to take care of. As Garcia goes back, and there's a receiver out there just overthrown on the far side as the receiver's down, and I hope that that's not like a shoulder injury on the far side, as he is not moving yet. He laid out for that one, I will tell you that, as boy, that's a tough one to see that he is just still laying there. And McMinnville's training staff getting to him as quick as they can, as now he's kind of coming up to his feet, his knees, and we just hope everything's okay there. He looks a little stunned. So why don't we take a quick timeout here, David, to get caught up on some commercial breaks. So here's a message from Willamette Valley Medical Center.
Meeting the needs of not only our team, but our community with kindness and compassion and understanding. We have those moments every day. I think that's probably the coolest part of what I get to do. Treating people with kindness is such an important thing to our hospital. From the moment I show up here to the moment I leave, it is just a collection of big, meaningful moments between the community and staff.
McMinnville Les Schwab is a proud sponsor of Grizzly football on Yamhill today. When you shop at Les Schwab, they promise you the best tire value. This means you get free peace of mind protection and free lifetime tire and mileage care included in your purchase. McMinnville Les Schwab. They want to be the neighbor down the street you know and trust. We thank McMinnville Les Schwab for their support of McMinnville Grizzly football.
Transitions in life. Sometimes it's difficult. When a loved one leaves us, Macy & Son is there for you, a trusted friend for 5 generations in Yamhill County. At that time, you have lots of questions and you need someone to walk with in every step of the way. Burial or cremation and a myriad of other options, let Macy & Son walk that journey with you. Macy & Son McMinnville. Give them a call, 503-472-6151.
Back here at Hillsborough Stadium as the injured Andrew Williams is being helped off the field by his training staff and coaching staff there, and we hope that he's not seriously injured, but looks like some sort of leg injury. So as they get him off the field with 5:08 to go here in the fourth quarter, McMinnville 35, the Jaguars 19. 3rd and 10 from the 25-yard line. And looks like he's off the field now, so we will see what kind of play Century does here on 3rd and 10 from their own 25. Low snap, but Garcia comes out, rolls to the right, getting pressure, steps up, avoids. Oh, wow, that's a big block there. Could have been a blindside block. He gets the over pursuit by McMinnville defenders and turns that into a 21-yard gain there. Fabulous run. McMinnville, again, we're in the right place, but just not the right time, or when they were in the right place, they over pursued it there. And nice job by Garcia keeping that play alive. Picks up a big first down as the clock continues to move. Now we're at 4:45 in the fourth. Quickly up on the ball is Century.
Yeah, anyone that's been listening to us is like, man, these guys don't know what they're talking about, because every time we say something, you get proved wrong.
Big pass there as defense was well done there, and I think that's Fanati on the far side on the incomplete pass. And that's the position that Williams normally plays, is on that boundary side of the field, and his backup came in and was unable to make the play there. 2nd and 10 from the 46-yard line. We're just about 4.5 minutes to go here in the game. McMinnville 35, Jaguars 19. 2-score game still, but you got to make the extra, the 2-point conversions both times, and they have failed on those twice tonight. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage is Century. Wide receivers, 3 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Ball back to, I'm going to look right in the middle of the zone and come up short. Skip it to the wide receiver who was wide open in the middle of the field. I believe that was Gavin Chesler. The intended pass from Garcia. And now we are 3rd and 10. Not much time went off the clock there, about 4 seconds off the clock. So another big 3rd down. Last time, 3rd down, they gave up 21. Let's not do that again, McMinnville.
Yeah, no. Oh, and it's interesting. I just noticed the receiver that doesn't line up, he got instructions from the coach right now.
Yeah.
So.
Isn't that weird, though? There's always a wide receiver not in the huddle. Trips again to the near side. They always have trips to the far, the side with the big boundaries. Now one goes in motion to the other side. In the backfield is Garcia and Garcia. Back to pass is Garcia, getting pressure right up the middle, and throws the ball wildly into the middle of the field. Dangerous pass as a quarterback. You never want to throw back across your body into the middle of the field. And I tell you what, there's going to be a horse collar call right there, I'm thinking, on the attempted tackle by the defense.
Because it definitely wasn't intentional grounding. He still threw it within his player's reach somehow, some way.
I think we're going to get 15 yards for horse collar penalty here. Personal foul, horse collar. Yep. Just unfortunate as the defensive lineman was grabbing to reach the quarterback. He just turned. I thought he was going to get him on the shoulder pad, and he just turned enough to get him right in that collar area where you can't grab him. So that's going to keep the drive alive for Century. They get an automatic first down out of that, and it moves the ball inside the McMinnville 40-yard line, right on the 39-yard line. 4:20 to go, 19-35. McMinnville in the lead. Quick pass here out on the near side, and the wide receiver's got some speed. The ball's on the ground. He's going to fumble it out of bounds. Carnahan made a valiant effort to get over to it, but that's going to pick up another first down as they get 11 on the play and fumble. And the beauty about that for Century is the clock stops.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking right now. I was like, oh, man, they also get the clock to stop. They didn't mean to, but it actually ended up working out in his favor in that context.
They did. I give Century a lot of credit here tonight. They've had opportunities to just let this game slip away, and they are fighting very hard. McMinnville doing a good job too, though, of fighting just as hard. So let's see if they can make a play when they need to here. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Garcia back to pass, going to look deep to the end zone. A nice ball out there and caught by the wide receiver, Benny Harkey, with a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch in the end zone for the touchdown with 4:06 to go. Don't go away, anybody. This is a big 2-point play coming up for the Jaguars, as we know that they're going to go for it. And, boy, just when you thought McMinnville was out of the clear, how important was that touchdown now that they scored just a second ago?
With 5 minutes to go, I was making some boneheaded comment that, oh, yeah, at Century they haven't broken any big plays open.
Yeah.
They break 2 20-yard plays for a touchdown, and then now they're within a score.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, big play here. This to keep it make it a 1-score game or keep it a 2-score game. Man in motion across the backfield, getting quickly and – oh, nice job by McMinnville. Pick up the ball. Go. Okay, that's right. You don't get the 2-point conversion here, but the pass, it looked like a pass or fumble, failed, and that keeps it a 2-score game with 4:06 to go. We're going to keep it right here as we get ready for the final 4 minutes and 6 seconds of the game. David, what are your keys to the last 4 minutes of the football game?
Three plays each time, handoff down the middle, pick up the first down. That's what you want, but I don't know if that's what's going to happen. We'll have to see what happens here because, Century's just turned this game around, and it's still within it's still a winnable game for them. It's not out of reach yet. So.
Yeah, it is. You figure Jaguars do have all 3 timeouts, so they're going to use those in all likelihood. They're going to have to because they got to score twice, and that's hard to do with 4 minutes and 6 seconds to go. They are going to do the onside kick. You can almost 100% guarantee that one. And McMinnville special teams, got to be honest, have at times this year been not great. Tonight they've been excellent. They've done a good job on special teams tonight. But you get all your hands players up there. You got your low numbers. You don't have any big numbers out there. You got Carnahan. You got Justice.
Donahue.
You got Donahue. Anybody who normally carries a Fanati is out there. You got Bizan out there. You've also got Schoaf out there. All these different players out there expecting the onside kick. It's just a question of which way does the kick go.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Big play here. McMinnville gets the ball. You kind of figure the game's over, but you just never know. Okay. And I think McMinnville got it. Looks like, yep, they did get it right at about the 50-yard line again, but that was a good job by the kicker to kick it and just run with the ball, hoping that it would go 10 yards and McMinnville wouldn't fall on it. So 4:06 to go here, and this is kind of the drive to seal it, if you ask me. If we can get McMinnville can get a touchdown, well, touchdown would be great, but if they can get a first down or 2 here, you got to feel like the game is going to be salted away.
Yeah, no. And like you mentioned earlier, it was just Mac has been so suspect all season when it comes to converting on those special teams plays right there. That was just really well executed. Almost got, kind of got lucky there.
Right. So we have Donahue and Carnahan in the backfield. I've said that about 100 times tonight, it seems like, with Sullivan in between. Snap back to Sullivan comes perfectly. Going to hand off to Donahue. He's going to get the edge, and he could go a long ways down to the 35, 30. breaks inside, somewhere between the 28 and the 29-yard line. They tackle him in bounds, which is a good thing for McMinnville because the clock will continue to run as they look like they're going to mark it at the 29-yard line. Big gain there of 21 yards on the first play of the drive as the clock now at 3:50 and moving.
Yeah, and especially if you're getting 40 seconds.
Yeah, isn't that
this
weird?
clock has been very weird tonight.
Unless there was a change that I'm not aware of, but I don't know. Anyhow, I have to read up.
I don't set the
I have to rule up my rule book, I think. We're at 3:30 to 3:30 here now. 3:27, 26. Again, Carnahan and Donahue on either side of Sullivan. Snap back to Sullivan. Handoff straight ahead to Carnahan. Met by about 5 guys on the middle of that defensive front for Century, and they take their first timeout of the second half to stop the clock with 3:14. So now if you're Century's head coach, you just got a good play there. Loss of 2 on the play, so 2nd and 12. You got to figure McMinnville's going to run the ball 2 more times to cause them to at least use their timeouts if they don't get a first down. What do you do if you're McMinnville?
They're hoping that they can run the clock out.
Yeah.
They're not even trying to score at this point. Just because if you make a big play, you also give the opportunity for the turnover. So it's like they're just kind of trying to survive at this point, which it sucks because when you get into these situations, you always want to be on the attack. But if you don't end up on the attack, it can compromise you.
Right. So you gotta be a little aggressive, but not overly aggressive.
Exactly. No. Yeah.
And I'm going to guess they're going to run the ball just to make Century use their timeouts.
Yeah.
That would be my guess. Maybe an option play, something to the edge, the ball on the far hash. Use the wide side of the field. Let's see what kind of formation they come out in. If it's trips here to the far side or to the near side, which they're going to go 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and 2 backs in the backfield. So pretty much a running formation for McMinnville. Oh, you got a wide receiver wide open here. Touchdown. Catch it. Touchdown. That was one of the worst disguised corner blitzes I have ever seen in my entire life as the touchdown pass from Kane Sullivan goes to Colin Herkey. That cornerback was like inching in 3 or 4 seconds before the ball was even snapped. All Sullivan had to do was turn, look to his right, and throw the ball out there. Great job by Herkey, because that's one of those plays where you're like, oh, it's coming. I'm not going to make it, but he made the play, and that should salt away the victory for McMinnville now, 41-25 with the extra point to come.
Yeah, no, and I think just they were so sold on the run.
Yeah.
That even the free safety was like, all right, I'm gonna step up.
Yeah. And I don't know if the play was called, changed to the line of scrimmage or what, but that ball's going to be blocked. The defender was almost in the backfield well before the snap even got there. That was crazy. But with 3:07 to go here in the fourth quarter, it's the Jaguars 25, the Grizzlies 41, and kind of feel like the game has been salted away, but still only a 2-score game. The extra point would have made it a 3-score game. So 2-score game, you just a little bit uneasy about, just a smidgen. So
yeah, no. Just it's been such a wild game. I don't even know what to think anymore.
Yeah. But McMinnville will come out here and obviously going to kick it deep, not going to do any funny business on the kickoff, and hopefully have Century have to go a long ways. And their passing game has not been great tonight, but they've had some plays where they sit down in those zones and get those 8, 10, 12-yard pass plays. So they can move down the field with some urgency as well.
Yeah, I mean, they scored in a minute last time. So
that's right. It's a great point. So McMinnville ready to kick off here to play these final 3:07 of the ball game. And just need a good kick here. And it's going to be a high driving kick down to about the 19-yard line, picked up by the wide receiver. And, if he hadn't run into his own man, there might have been some room. Oh, boy. That was a late hit that should have had a flag. I don't know if you saw that guy come flying through there, as he might have taken out one of his own guys as he's getting up a little bit woozy. But, Yeah.
He's
woozy.
He can't even find the sideline right
Woo.
now.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Hope he's okay. Anyways, there was a big hit on a McMinnville player, too, that seemed a little bit late. But anyways, doesn't matter. 3 minutes exactly to go up on the clock. Century trailing by 16, 32-yard line. And what do the Garcia I don't want to say twins, but what do the Garcia players do in the background? And there's not enough players out on the field for Century. I think that player that went off the field with the possible injury was part of that reason why there wasn't, as the quarterback's going to throw it deep, knock it down, McMinnville, and they do, almost coming up with the interception. I think Bizan was there, as was that Fanati on there. There's a flag on the far side, and is that going to be illegal forward pass? Was he past the line of scrimmage? I'm not quite sure. That would be my guess, but or was there defensive holding? Officials working to figure it out. 2:51 to go in the fourth.
Yeah, it's crazy because now all of a sudden you got Century having to air it out, and this hasn't been their strength through the game, so it's just kind of interesting to watch. And down to receiver, because that gentleman's probably not going to come back into this game.
Got illegal shift, probably because of that that person running on the field
last
late.
second.
Yeah, so that's a 5-yard penalty. Back them up to the 27-yard line, brings up 1st and 15. One good thing about that, the clock does stop for Century as they try to mount a comeback. Ball comes back to Garcia. Looked like a little bit of premature movement. Garcia's going to throw it here on the near side. Got a man wide open. Number 7. Great catch by Benny Hurley. Benny Hurley with the great catch right there. Looked like the cornerback there. Herky got turned around for McMinnville. Quickly up on the ball is Century at the 38-yard line of McMinnville. 2:43, clock moving. That's too big of a chump play right there as Rodriguez is going to go in motion, and he's going to pass deep to the end zone and almost caught, but I think it skipped into his hands.
Oh, wow.
And I'll tell you what, there might have been a blindside block there on big old number 51 from McMinnville, Christian Pastrano, as he gets up a little bit. You can tell he was hit pretty good, but I thought that might have been a blindside block coming back against the players. The flow of play was going the other way, but the officials saw otherwise. 2:31 to go, 2nd and 10 from the 40-yard line. 38-yard line. They're going deep quick, aren't they? Trying to make big plays.
Well, they should. They've been doing a good job of doing it so far.
Oh, Pickett. Oh, just out of the hands of Pastrano as they get the ball on a swing play out to Garcia. And Pastrano was in the right place. Just couldn't quite get up high enough to tip that ball away. And that was one of those misdirection plays that McMinnville did earlier in the game to their running back, Donahue. As 1st and 10 now from the 20. Clock moving, 2:20 to go in the ball game. As Garcia now solely looking in the corner of the end zone. And again, in and out of the hands of the wide receiver that time, Benny Hurley. Looked to be like a great pass, and not sure if Hurley looked up in the lights or something, but it was definitely on his hands as we hit the 2:10-minute mark.
Yeah, the quarterback has been on fire here in the second half. His touch has been so on point all day.
And a beautiful spiral. And
outside of that one crazy pass through the middle, it's been so clutch for him.
And McMinnville really hasn't had an answer for some of those fade patterns on the outside of the defense. So they got Fanati on the far side, Herky on here on the near side, playing corner, and they rotate a safety over to help on the far side, which means Herky's going to be by himself, getting pressure up the middle. Garcia pulls it down, and he's using some speed to the outside and tackle him in bounds. They did tackle him in bounds, so the clock will stop as they reset the Oh, and we've got is that Pastrano down, struggling to get up for McMinnville, and he's going to head towards the sideline there. And he's got a, sub. He's struggling to get over there. The clock is stopped. Gives a little bit extra time to Century to talk to the team. Ball at the 7-yard line, 1st and goal with the 1:57 to go. This game is not over by any stretch of the imagination, David.
No, not even close.
And got to figure up. They bring press coverage all the way across the board for McMinnville. And they're going to hand the ball off. And again, McMinnville, Johnny on the spot that time to form kind of a pocket around Rodriguez, around Garcia. As he takes the ball down to they put the ball on the 3, 1:40, and clock continues to move. Quick snap, going to Garcia again, and they had him in the backfield once again. Too many missed tackles by McMinnville in the backfield tonight has allowed Century to stay in the ball game, quite frankly.
We got a player down on the field.
So there's a player down for Century. So that's going to be 31-41. Again, another big 2-point play as they stop the clock. That player has to come out. They're not making him come out. Is that because it was an extra point? Okay, well, there's been some interesting calls by the referees tonight. Interesting. Anyways, Jaguars got to go for 2 here with 1:32 in the game. If they have any hope, they have to make this 2-point conversion. They're going to run the ball, and there it is. It's a 1-score game with 1:30. I don't know why 2 seconds ran off the clock on that play, but we'll take it as the score now is 33-41. And I got a feeling the officials will notice that and have them put 2 seconds back up on the clock. But 41-33 is our score. As I got to get the score right on the scoreboard. Let's just do that. There we go. And 2 points.
This has been just a crazy ending here to the game. All of a sudden now a game that we thought was out of reach is all of a sudden right back in reach for the Jaguars. And Jaguars somehow, some way found late in this game big chunk yardage plays. And now they're right back in this game and really in a chance to take this thing into overtime.
Don't say that. We've had weather delays this year. We've had just about everything. We've had overtime. McMinnville's had overtime, I believe, earlier this year. Yes, they did. The same weekend Oregon State had overtime and won. McMinnville had overtime and won. So we don't need another overtime. What we need is McMinnville to fall on the ball here and recover this onside kick. And they've already tried 2. I don't know what the success rate is, but let's hope it's not 1 of 3 in the ball game as he comes up. And nice kick. And McMinnville jumps up and grabs the ball. Great job by going and getting the ball. And I can't see is that that's number 17 on the far side. That recovered by Caleb Long. He did a good job to jump way up in the air and grab it with 2 hands and come down with the ball at the 49-yard line with minute and 29 now. A little bit of time went off the clock on the onside kick.
Yeah, sometimes you see when it pops up like that, if they don't go out and get it, that's when it becomes bad because then people just start hitting that front line of receivers or hands, and they just disrupt your timing and everything. It's just clutch play there by Long.
Ball on the 39-yard line. 4 wide receivers on the far side for McMinnville, or 3, excuse me. Donahue in the backfield. Got to figure it's just going to go to Donahue. Nope, they're going to run it to Sullivan. He's going to be in the backfield and go forward, and they're going to call a timeout. His Century. Yep, they're going to use their second timeout of the half. Going to be a loss of a couple on the play. And McMinnville would do really well if they could get a first down. It would ice the game. As it is right now, another second down play, you'll take off 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. They'll call timeout. Third down play, you'll run it. So Century may get the ball back with 30, 40 seconds left if you can't get a first down.
Yeah, especially because they have 2 timeouts left.
Yeah.
They didn't even have
they should only have 1. They should only have 1.
Okay.
They should only have 1 left. We'll see. Again, there's been some oddities in the reffing tonight that, for both ways. It's not been one way. It's just some head scratchers at times. So.
It's the fact that it's Thursday night lights.
It is. This is the only 6A game going on in the state of Oregon. According to the OSA website, there were a couple of lower levels games played tonight, but everything else is tomorrow night. And again, this is a big, big game for McMinnville relative to standings in the league to get that third place spot and auto qualifier for a playoff spot. So like to see what McMinnville can do here if they're going to just keep it in Kane's hands and not have him even risk a fumble by a handoff. Let's see here. My guess is yes. Yep, they're going to just run the ball with Kane. There you go. Okay, and they're going to call timeout with 1:14 to go in the game. That should be the third and final timeout of the game for Century. So you run another play and then take 30 seconds off. Yeah, they might get the ball with 30 or 40 seconds to go and no timeouts. And
that might be all they need,
exactly. Stranger things have happened. So
the way they've been airing that thing out right now.
Everybody hang tight. Sit tight because we've thought McMinnville had this game in hand several times, and well, they've just wanted to make it an interesting night for us all, haven't they? We thank everybody for watching and listening tonight, both on KLYC 1260 in McMinnville as well as YamhillToday.com. And we also thank all of our sponsors, Les Schwab, Macy & Sons Funeral, Andrew Physical Therapy, Willamette Valley Medical Center, Chuck Colvin Auto, Big Box Returns, get down there, Edward Jones with Bethany Ablin, of course. We couldn't do it without all of our sponsors, and we just are thankful to you for wanting to sponsor McMinnville High School football, bring it to family members that can't be at games and those sorts of things. So we have third down and 9 with 1:14 to go here for McMinnville. As Carnahan goes in motion, I don't like that. Just run the ball. Don't even throw it. Yep, there you go. There you go, Sullivan. That's fine.
Yeah, at least he didn't throw the ball away or turn it over.
So now the clock starts with 35 seconds. So you have to get the ball up with about 22 seconds. You got to figure McMinnville's going to take the delay or call a timeout with 23 seconds left to go. Punt the ball away and then make it really hard for Century to pull off the tie.
Yeah, especially if they give up an ugly little squibby, you imagine they might try to even run it back. So
punt it away. Sullivan's limping a little bit there. I don't like to see that in this last game as he stands over by the official.
Yeah, they're taking the penalty.
And what are we going to do? Oh, they do call a timeout right at the end there. So, yep, the official indicates timeout, and McMinnville team will come over to the sideline. Now, let's not pretend like the punting game has been stellar this year. It's had its challenges at times. This is where you don't want a high snap, or if you do get a high snap, eat it.
Yeah, no, and that's the problem though. It's been the snap.
Yeah,
the snap is what's killed him all season. So,
yep. If you end up getting a high snap, you've got to eat it, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens here, but let's trust the special teams. They bring in a punting football. It looks like Sullivan handed to the official. And it'll be interesting to see who's going to punt the ball because I believe Wilson usually is the punter as well. So maybe Kane Sullivan's your punter on this one. Somebody with sure hands.
Exactly.
So if something does go wrong. And it looks like let's see what kind of formation they're coming in. Yeah, that is a punt formation, and it is Sullivan in the back. So you get your guy who handles the ball all the time with the ball. I kind of like this. If you just got to get this punt away. Let's have a good punt here. Good snap. And, there's offsides. That would be 5 yards in favor of McMinnville. Let's do that 3 more times, and you got a first down, and this ball game's over, right?
Hey, weirder things have happened tonight, so it's definitely not out of the question.
22 seconds to go, fourth quarter, 41-33. Grizzlies up by 8, so it's a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to send us into extra football, free football as I like to call it. Snap back, good snap. Kane gets the ball away. Not the best punt, but yep, there you go. That play took 8 seconds off the clock. That was really good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If they came up with a little ugly squibber, then Century was going to be forced to jump on top of it, even if they couldn't return it. And that's exactly what ended up happening there. So,
ball going to be placed right on the 30-yard line. Let's reset here. 41-33, McMinnville in the lead. Fourth quarter.
Hardly out of reach yet.
14 seconds left, and no timeouts left for the Jaguars. So McMinnville's going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 safety-ish deep. They're just bracketing. It's like a cover 4 right here is what we got. They're going to let anything underneath go ahead and then swarm to the ball and make tackles. They have overrun some tackles tonight, though, so you got to make sure that you got a sure thing. Keep guys inbounds if at all possible. Snap back, rolls out to the right side, and going to be a quick pass that is at the feet of the wide receiver, incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 with 10 seconds to go in the ball game. Well, hang on. Probably enough time for 2 plays is my guess.
Like you said, all it is one missed tackle on the outside, and we're here until 10:30.
Oh, Brian, where are you, Brian?
I think he was scheming today.
Yeah,
supposedly something about some conferences.
Yeah, I know. He was.
I'm gonna have to check in with the South Salem.
Garcia drops back to pass, going to throw the ball out of bounds with 4 seconds to go. And so we got one more play here. McMinnville doing a good job of just covering the field, bracketing it. And we've got Century with no timeouts. So they got 33 seconds on the play clock, 4 seconds on the game clock. And what are they trying to draw up here on the near sideline? You go here, you go there. Pitch back. I don't know, but the quarterback coming into the huddle now with 20 seconds to go on the play clock.
All I know is my dreams of an overtime game right now are getting
they're slowly
diminishing.
But they're not gone. They're not gone. But I think McMinnville is up to the chance here, up to the task of keeping it. We got 5-4. They got to get to the line of scrimmage quick. Got to snap it quick, or it's going to be delay a game. They get it just off, and now they're going to run the old Statue of Liberty play, pitch it back, throw it all over the place. The ball's on the ground, and McMinnville's going to recover and hang on for the victory, David. You didn't get your dream, but that's a good thing because McMinnville now is stopped the 2-game losing streak and is back in the W column, getting back to a 4-4 record on the year, and that's a positive because this, I believe, puts them into 3rd place, sole possession of 3rd place in the league right now, and that is that 3rd place automatic qualifying position in the playoffs. So well done tonight by the McMinnville Grizzlies to get out to kind of a big lead, 28-7 at one point, or 28-8, excuse me, and then hang on for the victory. Our final 41-33 at the end of the game.
Yeah, Jeff, and it was hardly an easy win tonight. They really had to grind it out all the way until the last moments of the game. Early on, it felt like we were joking. We're like, oh, man, maybe Mac is going to put up 40 points here. We didn't realize that it was going to be 40 points in the 4th quarter with Jaguars scoring 33. So.
Yep.
Oh,
well,
man.
we'll come back after this quick timeout to do a quick game recap and preview next week's game for McMinnville, the final game of the year as they go on the road to North Salem. Our final here from Hillsboro, McMinnville 41, Century 33. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic and Sports Rehab wants to see you make a full and quick recovery so that you can get back into life and the things that you like to do. Their friendly staff will listen and encourage and guide you through each step of the rehabilitation process. From low back pain to post-surgical rehabilitation after a shoulder surgery or knee replacement, they are here to help. Andrew Physical Therapy, Orthopedic, and Sports Rehab. Give them a call at 503-435-1900. Transitions in life. Sometimes it's difficult. When a loved one leaves us, Macy & Son is there for you. A trusted friend for 5 generations in Yamhill County. At that time, you have lots of questions and you need someone to walk with in every step of the way. Burial or cremation, and a myriad of other options, let Macy & Son walk that journey with you. Macy & Son McMinnville. Give them a call, 503-472-6151.
Hello, everybody. Scott here from Big Box Returns, and can you smell it? I can. Football season is in the air, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it that Ty Tomlin is coming back as coach, and he is going to bring us to the promised land, to the victory that we all deserve. While we're waiting, come on down to Big Box Returns and buy a toaster, maybe a refrigerator, maybe a rug. Who knows? We're open every Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5. We are located right across the street from the Yamhill County Fairgrounds. Come on down.
McMinnville Les Schwab is a proud sponsor of Grizzly football on Yamhill today. When you shop at Les Schwab, they promise you the best tire value. This means you get free peace of mind protection and free lifetime tire and mileage care included in your purchase. McMinnville Les Schwab. They want to be the neighbor down the street you know and trust. We thank McMinnville Les Schwab for their support of McMinnville Grizzly football.
To Hillsborough Stadium, where the McMinnville Grizzlies hang on to win tonight, 41-33 over a Century team that really did a good job on senior night here tonight, David. And what are your thoughts as McMinnville comes away with the victory tonight of this game?
I mean, just overall, you're going to be happy that you won. It's not easy to win sometimes, and tonight was a perfect example of that. But more importantly, just being a little bit more disciplined as the season winds down, because some of these mistakes that you've made against this team would just not fly against some other teams. So, just improve a little bit on some of those little mistakes that they made here tonight, and then maybe defensively tighten down a little bit.
One of the things we talked about in the pregame was the penalties. Penalties were not really a factor for McMinnville tonight. Not very many penalties, maybe 2 or 3, which is down from the week ago, and continues the overall improvement, and that's good to see. Next week, of course, going to want to keep those penalties down as well. As you think about a player of the game tonight for McMinnville, a couple players come to my mind, but who comes to your mind tonight in the YamhillToday.com player of the game?
I'm going to go with a little bit different, only because my favorite is seems to be always the number one pick, but I'll go with Carnahan. I think Carnahan had a good game today. He made some really big plays in different moments that were really important. So I'm going to go with Carnahan tonight.
And his toughness showed. He was injured there on a play or two, had to come out, was kind of favoring that shoulder, but he came back in and carried the ball at some crucial times on the offensive side, and then on the defensive side, he made some big plays. So I think that's a good choice for the player, the YamhillToday.com player of the game. When we come back, we'll have a quick preview of next week's game as McMinnville is victorious tonight. They'll be on the road to North State, and we'll have a quick preview of that. And again, McMinnville wins tonight 41-33. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a financial advisor located here in McMinnville, Bethany A. Blinn has you covered. She has a holistic approach and understands what is most important to you, using an established process to build personalized strategies and partnering with you throughout your life to help keep you on track. Her investment philosophy is a long-term approach with an emphasis on quality, durability, historical context, and common sense. Give Bethany at Edward Jones a call at 503-472-0555.
Are you looking to spend less and get more on your next vehicle? At Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan, they've got you covered. As McMinnville's premier Ford and Nissan dealership, they offer a wide selection of new and used cars, trucks, and SUVs, all in a stress-free, customer-first environment. Their motto, big enough to serve you, small enough to care, means you'll enjoy the convenience of a large dealership with the personal touch of a local business. Visit Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan at McMinnville today or call 503-376-9650. Chuck Colvin Ford Nissan.
Meeting the needs of not only our team, but our community with kindness and compassion and understanding. We have those moments every day. I think that's probably the coolest part of what I get to do. Treating people with kindness is such an important thing to our hospital. From the moment I show up here to the moment I leave, it is just a collection of big, meaningful moments between the community and staff.
And that was a message from Willamette Valley Medical Center. Well, the Grizzlies head home tonight victorious, but there's still more games to play. And the final regular season game of the season is on the road again for McMinnville, but this time they're heading to Salem to play the North Salem Vikings. Any thoughts on that game next week, David, as they look to wrap up their regular season with a winning record if they can get the win next week?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been a tough season so far with injuries for the Grizzlies. So to see the guys, a variety of guys stepping up and filling in those roles, I just hope that they can kind of carry a little bit of tonight's momentum into the next game and then improve on some of the smaller things that they're able to over a week.
Yeah, and North Salem has been struggling this year. I think they only have one win, so you can't take it for granted. But the win tonight against a 3-4 team should be really good for your confidence heading into next week. Get some of these guys that are dinged up playing, get them some rest this week, and then look to maybe if you win next week, solidify that playoff spot, which is something that you always look forward to, having that extra game or 2 or 3 at the end of the season. So, boy, what a fantastic job of getting out to a lead and then hanging on by McMinnville tonight, and really impressed with their win tonight on the road. So I want to thank you tonight for your help getting everything set up. We had a little bit of technical problems, but we got it back up on the air. Brian, we look forward to having you back in the captain's chair next week as we get ready for the final game of the week. So I want to thank everybody for listening and watching tonight on yamhilltoday.com and 1260 KLYC. We'll see you next week from North Salem High School in Salem, Oregon. The Grizzlies were victorious tonight, 41-33 over Century. Have a great weekend, everybody.